Greetings and salutations, fans of Dota 2. My name is Badger. I am once again here for some more League of Lads Season 6 action. I am joined here by the esteemed Artorius tonight. How are you, sir?
I wouldn't necessarily say esteemed, but I'm okay.
I was thinking of a more grandiose intro of like the 7K support player, the 4 support admin of League of Lads, 7,000 whole matchmaking rating and expert on 4 different heroes, Artorius, 13, but nah, it's probably a little too much.
Yeah, especially since I'm a fake 7K bought my account.
Dear Lord.
4 heroes, that's generous.
Let's see, we got Skyrath, we got Coddle, definitely. We got Wyvern, we got Clockwork. That's 4, right?
I've been told that I don't know how to play Coddle.
I need you. Stop talking about Coddle then.
By 2 people, apparently.
2 people? Okay,
Yeah.
I won't ask names yet. We'll leave it open-ended. Either way, though, we are here for possibly the best matchup of the regular season. We are seeing the defending champions, 12 wins, 2 losses, DarkW, take on the current number 1 team by win percentage, the 11-1 Stepbro. I'm stuck. I'm going to turn on my open mic voice chat team, by the way, in Dota, so that way any people in Dota can get that commentary. But I've casted a bit of Stepbro, I'm stuck, and a bit of DarkW this season, but I'm actually curious to see how these 2 teams are going to play up against each other, because they have 2 very different styles of Dota. Like, you look at DarkW, and they have a really up-tempo style of Dota. Like, they're a team that's going to be taking a lot of these mid-game team fights. But then you look at Stepbro, I'm stuck, and it's almost like, alright, they're going to play this classic sort of 4P1 Dota. They're going to, like, make some space for their carry to farm. What do you think that's a fair evaluation of these teams, or no? Greetings and salutations, fans of Dota 2. My name is...
That's pretty fair. Although on the other hand, Apex is also one of those carry players that they can also pull it for Protect 1. Sasquatch played a couple save heroes, but now they have the Maestro standing in. I'd be interested in whether or not they kind of do a little bit more 8 Dota, or if they go for that 4 Protect 1.
We're seeing DarkW, though. They are respecting the Terrorblade. I have commentated it live in person. It's scary. KU's Terrorblade is unbelievably scary, so they're just going to show their respect and ban it out here. I mean, OD. Is there much to say about this point? I mean, it's one of the best heroes in the patch. Play at 3, play at 4, play at 5, play at 2 if you really want to.
Yeah, the movement speed and armor is ridiculous. And then you have the save or the setup. Pretty much just a better Shadow Demon right now.
Well, I forgot to do one thing. I actually forgot to turn off my my Steam notifications. There we go. That's better. Professional commentator, by the way. And speaking of heroes who are very good in the patch, we are seeing Death Prophets. Once again, same thing basically. Play it anywhere, buy basically anything.
I'm gonna assume it's a Malefic 4 Death Prophet, though.
Yeah, that would make a good bit of sense. I wouldn't be shocked if they put it 2 or they put it 3, or even like KTA plays at 5 or something. Wouldn't be too crazy. Rubik, though, this is a little more interesting. That has to... You thinking it's like a 4 Rubik or a 5 Rubik? Or what's the plan here with this Rubik? Or do we not know yet?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to assume it's a 4 because 5 Rubik is typically a bit of a throw.
And we are really seeing a bevy of green heroes tonight, you know? OD, Death Prophet, Rubik, Wraith King. All heroes where green features very heavily in the color palette. To say nothing of those heroes' spot in the current meta, but still. What's your thoughts on the Rubik Shard? Is that one of the reasons why we've been seeing like an uptick on him, or no?
I think it definitely validifies him in different games because some shards are very good. So if you can steal those spells, it's alright. And throwing your teammates okay. I accidentally threw Mike in our last game. He was playing SF, he's on like 200 HP, and I threw him into 3 enemies, and I was like, did not mean to do that, but that works. So it's okay, but it's typically just used for stolen spells, I think.
Speaking of good Dota 2 heroes, Jug being banned, Puck being banned, certainly some of the strongest heroes on the current patch. Wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing some more, I'm just going to call them OP heroes being banned out. Still a good number of the strong carries available, Troll still available, Riki still available. Possible that Stepbro and Stuck bans out both here. In terms of game direction, though, it looks like Stepbro Stuck is in a very strong position to possibly 5-man at like minute 20 or so. Should DarkW be addressing that in the draft now, or is it one of those things where it's not going to be a big deal for them?
I think they definitely need some deep push. Rubik's okay, but they need kind of someone who can stand in front of those towers. Because even though DP is a support, she can still take towers fairly easily.
And if you were in this draft room, would you be trying to address this right here with the next pick? Pick like an offlaner, say, I don't know, Underlord or Sand King, who could potentially do a lot of AoE damage, or what's going through your mind here?
I would definitely be planning to pick up Underlord. It's really good versus the Wraith King, and obviously can stand in front of those towers. And with OD, Astral, and even Rubik Lift, you can definitely keep people inside of your Pit of Malice for quite some time.
And we're seeing the drafts still progress onwards. Once again, another strong mid being banned out in Void Spirit, another strong carry being banned out in Riki, and they seem to be on the same page as you. They are banning out the Underlord, so... Wait, no, that's DarkW banning out the Underlord. Wait a minute. So if they're banning out the Underlord, what is on their mind currently in terms of like what direction they want to go in?
I'm thinking a Sand King then, because Pit of Malice is very good versus Sand King. Typically, the way he wants to purge himself is a Yule Scepter early game, and Yule Scepter is not very good against Pit of Malice.
Phantom Lancer, I'm assuming that's primarily a respect ban for Apex, correct?
I think that and the fact that they have a Wraith King, PL's decent into Wraith King. Obviously, Radiance is pretty good into the PL, but it is historically a counter into the Wraith King.
Historically a counter, true. But also, PL is currently countered by Dota. Not heroes, just Dota.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. How much we got plenty of reserve time, so there's still a good amount of time to think about stuff. Something that is of note is Sasquatch is definitely one of the brain children of this DarkW draft room, and he is currently missing. I'm not sure if he was involved in the draft plans or if he's just not present tonight, but either way. I'm sure they'll be fine, though.
I've played a couple games and been on a team with Maestro for a little bit, and he's typically decent on drafts, so depending on how well he knows the other people on this team, he could definitely help out with a few suggestions.
They have Hanming Z as well, who is an extremely large-brained Dota gamer. Somebody who's captained a good number of teams, somebody who's drafted for a lot of teams, so I'm sure they're not lacking in terms of draft direction there. We are seeing a Wyvern picked up, though. Certainly a hero which you have expertise here. In terms of if you were playing Wyvern here, what would your thoughts be as a Wyvern player?
I would say don't pick me the hero.
Well, what's the problems with Wyvern in this game if you're playing the Stars then?
Wyvern is not very good against OD at all. Astral just completely negates any heal that you can throw out. It fits into the dire draft well. It provides save, provides team fight, even set up for a good DP ult. However, into Rubik and OD, it is not very sought after, I guess you could say. I feel like this is a pre-thought up draft and they're just going with it regardless of what the enemy picked. The only problem is now DarkW has 3 more heroes that they can counter with it, and they already have 2 heroes that are decent against it. So I'm a little bit surprised to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a bit of a rough time, especially with the meta being as many safe heroes as you're seeing. I mean, it's obviously OD's a big one, Rubik's even the Shard is another one, so it's not a great game. But you know what? Sometimes you just try to do your best on a hero like Wyvern, especially if it's a comfort pick. I believe KTA plays a hero pretty well, right? Or am I mixing up players here?
I haven't seen Wyvern in forever, so I don't even know who plays it anymore, other than Guam. Guam's been playing it a lot.
Let's not bring up Guam Wyvern. I casted that one a few weeks ago. Didn't go too well. Speaking of Guam Wyvern, we have Earthshaker being picked. Certainly, it's like almost like a crash course on like what heroes are good in this patch. We're seeing a lot of very good heroes in this draft. OD, Death Prophet, a lot of good carries being picked in band. Speaking of good heroes, Earthshaker. For those of you who have not, just explain to people at home who literally have not watched Dota this patch, why is Earthshaker good?
Well, when he casts Fissure, every single spell he casts after that uses Aftershock and stuns everyone along it. But on top of that, Earthshaker gets free pathing over top of the Fissure.
It's pretty powerful. It's, what role would you expect the Earthshaker to be in for DarkW this game?
I'm gonna go under the assumption that OD is the 3, and Earthshaker's the 5, and Rubik's probably the 4.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. We have seen M-John play OD, I believe, in Lads this season, so certainly something he's... I think he played OD against you guys, right?
I don't think so. I think it was against a different team. However, that might actually be an Earthshaker 4, now that I look at it, because if it's a DP 4, you probably want your Rubik lane against it rather than your Earthshaker.
Yeah, DP Earthshaker sounds like a, Earthshaker, he's not going to be happy there. That's a pretty rough time, but...
Yeah, and you probably want your Earthshaker picking up a Blink Dagger in this game over top of your Rubik.
That means we are seeing the side lanes start to fully materialize. We're going to be, if we're assuming the DP is 4, the Rubik is 5, we'll see Sand King Death Prophet up against Rubik +1. What kind of carry should you be picking to lane into Sand King plus DP here?
I have no clue. DP just kind of owns melee heroes in general. I guess not that one.
That's a melee hero.
Yeah. However, if anyone has been watching Snow Sand King, they would know that Anti-Mage no longer counters Sand King in lane.
That's one of those things. I mean, Anti-Mage, one of the historical counters, and if played perfectly optimally, Anti-Mage in the team fights is very good against Sand King, but optimal versus realistic execution, sometimes there's a gap there. The question is, how close to optimal can Apex play? Obviously, Apex, very strong carry player, and basically every carry player has played some good bit of Anti-Mage, so I'm sure he'll have some comfort here.
I'm sure he'll have plenty of free reign in this game so far, but I think his lane might be a little bit rough. However, they don't really have a counter for this Anti-Mage right now. Wyvern has got to be feeling awful now, because Anti-Mage does
Blink,
not burn his own
Abyssal,
mana.
rough time.
Yeah. And the fact that Anti-Mage does not drain people's mana when he's attacking them.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough day to be Wyvern.
Oh, and if anyone gets healed, then Anti-Mage is standing beside them.
No mana, plus mana void. Very sad.
Yeah.
Speaking of side lanes, though, looking at the other side lane, I'm looking at Wraith King plus Wyvern up against OD Shaker. That seems pretty alright for OD Shaker. Seems like between Imprisonment and Fissure, they can do a lot of like creep redirecting and just banishing and ruining Wraith King's day. Am I looking at this lane wrong or no?
Yeah, I think this is pretty OD Shaker favored. Wyvern can only really contribute every 50 seconds. Other than that, she can trade a bit with Earthshaker, but Earthshaker's probably not going to bother to trade with her. And if Wyvern walks up to OD, rip your health pool. Wyvern's not very good at trading unless they have an aggressive carry, which Wraith King is, but you can't really be aggressive into an Earthshaker because he can heavily punish you, especially with a large damage dealer like OD.
It's one of those things too. Wraith King wants at least like, at level 3, level 4 to be aggressive, and he won't have that until he's, level 3, level 4. Interesting. Does that mean the OD could possibly be middle in the Razor 3, or are we seeing a Razor 3, or sorry, a Razor 2 OD 3? Or is it still flexible and we don't know yet?
I think it's still flexible. I know Mike plays Razor, or Hemmingsley plays Razor, so I'm assuming it's going to be a Razor mid, but I think this Razor plus Shaker bottom could really ruin a Wraith King's day.
I know Handmings, you can also play OD, though. I think he played it in RD2L recently. Obviously, a much different level of Dota, looking at like the RD12 teams with an average of 4k MMR and the LAS teams with an average of 6k MMR. But still, similar concept. Usability, hit abilities. And we're coming to the end of the draft now. We have 8 seconds left for Stepbro and Suck's final pick. I'm assuming they're middle laner unless they want to put the DP middle. Okay, that is interesting. Does that mean we're seeing a DP middle, a Furion 4? Or, okay, we're seeing a Furion middle and a DP 4 still. Very cool.
I just realized they actually pretty much have 4 counters to this Wyvern. Because you have OD, you have Rubik, you have Anti-Mage, and the Razor can actually just sit there and suck damage out of the target being healed.
But you could Arctic Burn over the Fissure, all as well.
You can also get thrown back over top of it by Rubik.
We're just going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that interaction.
All I'm saying is this is going to be a rough Wyvern.
Either way, though, I mean, this is I like this situation here for DarkW. I think played optimally, their draft seems better. What are your thoughts overall on the draft here?
I think Dire has a very solid draft. However, the Radiant just have a better draft. I think both drafts are good, but Radiant's draft just counters the Dire's draft.
I mean, both definitely have a win condition, but Radiance just seems like if DarkW plays like DarkW, which they have played for basically the entire season, then they should be able to execute a pretty good style of make space for Apex, play well in these early skirmishes, and then just win Dota 2.
Mm-hmm. I think Dire's draft is a little bit easier to execute, but if Radiant executes their draft correctly, then Dire should not have a chance at winning the game, no matter how well they play.
Yeah, if DarkW comes out flat, say loses a early team fight, 4 kills to 2, then this draft certainly could head the way of Stepbro and stuff very quickly.
Yeah, if Razor or OD gets shut down in the laning stage at all, they're gonna have a rough time.
Yeah, for those who are curious on who's playing what was on the screen previously, I am going to pull up the scoreboard one more time for the people out there. For those who are wondering, we are seeing HZ on OD and Maestro standing in for Sasquatch. Yeah, good old scoreboard. Speaking of weird matchups, though, Nature's Prophet versus OD in the middle lane. That's got to be a Nature's Prophet-sided lane, right?
I would think so, but on the other hand, OD does have a lot of starting base damage, so as long as he can outlast it, the Treants, he should be okay. But on the other hand, it looks like it might be an aggro tri-lane bottom.
It could just be Wyvern staying for the runes and then walking up afterwards.
It's
hard to
it's
tell.
definitely a lane swap.
Maybe both teams trying to get some more information. Certainly, information very important. Most of the wards haven't even been placed down yet. I believe only is 1 Radiant wards in place middle. We're still seeing 3 wards yet to be placed.
Oh, that Treant almost got into range of the tower. Could have scouted that mid ward.
Yeah, we almost saw the tree on top as well, almost scout out the Radiant Hero's top. I believe that one blocks, right? This ward up here?
Yep.
It's barely on the line. Hard to tell sometimes, but looks like both teams will claim 2 runes. Dire grabbing them bottom and Radiant grabbing them top. Still have not seen any Dire wards placed, but with Malefic walking forward, he'll place it somewhere around this camp, I'm sure. Maybe?
Looks like it might be a courier sniping ward.
I'm not sure if... I'm looking at Radiant Vision right now, but... Yeah, I don't think they saw him at all. We are seeing Wyvern commit a TP to top lane, though.
Oh, interesting. The Shaker actually blocked the Dire creeps to force the Radiant creeps under tower.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, certainly it's a long-term equilibrium payoff. Should work out relatively well for them. Looking over at bottom lane, this is a Wraith King up against Anti-Mage. Carry versus carry matchup. This has got to be pretty alright for the Wraith King, right?
I think this could go either way, honestly. On one hand, he could just use a stun, and then he can no longer take damage from the anti-mage. But on the other hand, this anti-mage could get a lot of good trades off with the Rubik W.
Looks like Malphite's having a good time, though. I mean, he's trading with ET successfully at that. Has that Spear Siphon skilled as per usual, and Apex is taking so much damage. Only problem is no mana on Wraith King, so actually killing him will be a little bit more difficult. Maybe he'll buy a mango or two simply to get a stun if needed.
But just wait, he's gonna get that level 1 mana void and kill him.
I think Teddy's dead, actually. He has no burrow. They have a detection. They see the Sand King. They're doing a lot of damage. And they will bring down Teddy. First blood to Maestro. So overall, for DarkW, this lane swapping shenanigans appear to be working out. They've already secured that first blood. M-John's having a great lane already, 8-1 and a first blood. Although he wasn't the one claiming the gold. Looking over at mid lane, we are seeing OD at 9-2 versus Nature's Prophets 9-6. But I believe the treants are inflating the numbers on both sides. Could be wrong about that. Have not looked at mid at all, but that seems accurate. Either way, though, back to bottom. Malefic, taking a bit of damage here, was lifted back by ET. Apex does have Blink available, but does not want to commit in, wants to head back those creeps. I believe only missed one last hit for the movement he did make, so not too bad, but still needs to secure whatever farm he can. Looking over at top, once again, Blink being used on Teddy. That's 30 damage stolen by M-John, and they're just trading very efficiently with the Link, with the Earthshaker's Totem. Back to bottom. Supports once again trading. Spells are available on both heroes, but just right clicks being exchanged on this evening. Anything surprising so far in these lanes, or have they gone as expected?
I think they've gone pretty as expected. Typically, Sand King will die in the early stage of the lane. He's pretty weak in his first 2-3 levels. Level 4, level 5, he comes online a bit more.
What is Apex bringing on his courier? This regen. Probably shouldn't have asked. I knew he was bringing regen. Makes a lot of sense. He's getting a lot of harass here from KU and Malefic just right-clicking him all game. Maestro is going in, though. I mean, he has Fissure available in 1 second if he wants to go on KTA. He does need 2 more hits, though. Especially the Fairy Fire, yeah. There will be no kill from Maestro on the top lane.
You know, something I have yet to see so far in this league is a 5 half-pull lane.
Yeah, half-pulling is difficult. You have to time things correctly.
You just wait 2 more seconds. What do you mean?
That's hard, man. I know I couldn't do that.
And instead of pulling at 15, just pull at 17.
Apex is taking a lot of damage in this bottom lane. He's still working on his ring of health. He'll swing over to the secret shop to grab that pretty soon, I'm sure. They are using Siphon on ET, but they're also now using Siphon on Apex. He has Blink available. Will not use it! He just dies! Had a little bit greedy there on the anti-mage. Didn't use the Fairy Fire. Didn't use the Blink, and got punished for it.
At the end of the day, though, you didn't really miss any creeps. You missed 2, so it might actually be slightly worth.
I think he lost like 50 gold in that death, give or take, but it's never a fun time to die on anti-mage.
It's never a good time to die, but at the end of the day, he gets to go back, pick up a bit more regen, and reset all of his health and mana.
Looks like bounties are going to be 2-2, so that's even trade. There is one unclaimed bounty top still. Apex has finished that ring, but he's still taking a lot of damage.
Yeah. Those skeletons are actually chunking him quite a bit.
It's one of those things where he needs to hit the skeletons, but if he does, then DP hits him, and that's not a fun time.
This is actually interesting. The Maestro level 3 Earthshaker picked up a 2nd point in Fissure instead of 1 in Aftershock.
He's been very aggressive in this top lane from what I've watched. They're once again going into KTA. There is no mana, though, on Shaker for more than a totem. In comes Teddy. Burrow is onto 1. The Arctic Burn is popped. Will be no kill. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, they might go on ET, but there is still no mana on Wraith King. He does have the Mangoes, but he's taking a lot of damage. Silence is popped. Apex dropping very low, but bit of a hard dive for now. Glyph is popped by the Dire. They're looking for more Mangoes. One was popped by KU. Stun is available if he wants to use that Wraithfire Blast. Malefic hitting Apex. Silence is there. Is there a stun? Stun is there. Not enough damage just yet. He blinks up. They need one more hit. They do have that ward. The creeps, though, will block Malefic out. He is way faster, but there will be no kill just yet, and ET will be stuck alone in the bottom lane, but he'll be fine for now. Malefic is still on that dive, but ET is burrowed into the trees all the way to the right, and they have not found him on Stepbro. I'm stuck just yet. Malefic is taking tower, uses Siphon. He's under tower now. Has lift. Will get lifted back into tower range. Taking a lot of tower shots. In comes Apex. Kill will go to ET. Maestro rotates in as well, but will simply be a 1-for-0 trade in favor of DarkW. Fissure is used on KU. There is still one Mango. He has that Bracer and Phase Boots trying to run away. Can Maestro block him? KU through the trees and will be A-okay for now.
Despite the death there, that kept the Siege Creep alive for quite some time and almost completely took the bottom tower.
Yeah, just 300 health off from that tower. Bit of a disaster. Another Fissure there from Maestro. I believe hit both. KU can Mango and stun, will not opt for it, respecting Apex's ability to counterspell it. There's a Meteor Hammer finished middle lane. Goes on to the Furion. Has ulti available. Will use it, and it's a kill. Mike Hanmingsley destroying the Furion with that Meteor Hammer combo on OD. And they are going a little bit on Apex with that Splinter Blast, but need a little bit more. Fissure is there on KU, but there is no follow-up damage or stuns. And they're once again harassing Apex. Tower is dead, was killed by KTA. Apex blinks away, will not tick out, but the Furion ulti! The last hit by Mr. League of Legends kills Apex, and this anti-mage is currently struggling. He is 6th in terms of last hits, 31 in 5, has already had 2 deaths, and if you're Stepbro stuck, you're doing a very good job of containing the anti-mage. Malefic, though, is a little bit deep. Imprisonment was used. Meteor Hammer is available. Not being popped, won't be needed. Fate Bolt by ET will secure that kill on Malefic. Meanwhile, top lane, Mjon was diving Teddy once again, but even though he had a dust, unable to really get on top of him the way he wanted to. Looking over at the CS chart in general, though, we do have Wraith King on top, followed by the OD, Furion, and Razor, all tightly in a group. Sand King not too far behind, and then Anti-Mage sitting at 32 and 7. And then of supports, Rubric is on top, but other than that, everyone's pretty poor.
I think, despite shutting down this anti-mage, they're going to need to continue to do it because this OD and this Razor are having quite a free game. So either you need to start ganking them or you need to continue picking off this anti-mage or hope that your Wraith King just starts going off and picking up a big power spike.
We're going to see some kind of brawling happening top. There's a lot of DarkW heroes simply towards these top runes. I'm not sure if they're going to go for anything on Teddy here, but they're not going to. They're simply going to grab the bounties easily. Yeah, looking over at Hero Net Worth, it is as expected. Anti-Mage is behind, but it is Anti-Mage. It's one of those things where you have to keep him down or else he will eventually come back.
You should be down pretty low, though, for the next couple of minutes until he finishes that Battle Fury.
They are going on KTA's Wyvern, but it is not an easy catch just yet. Arctic Burn, though, and Fissure, yeah, that'll be a secured kill. Hanmingsley is there with the imprisonment. Meteor Hammer is popped. Will hit it. Down goes KTA. Kill goes to Mjon. Mid tower, taking a bit of damage, but it's going to be okay. Glyph was popped by DarkW. Yeah, he'll even imprison the Siege Creep, just preventing a little bit of damage there.
DP just picked up her tome. She's level 6 now. I'm expecting them to pressure this middle tower next.
Yeah, they had the Nature Prophet there as well. The Siege unit is... Okay, Meteor Hammer is being used there onto the Furion, but the silence is there from Malefic, as is the Exorcism. Splinter Blast comes in, slows up the OD. Hammer is available if he wants to try to turn here. He will self-imprison. No, imprison the Furion. Kill is there, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Both mids going down. Malefic still has the Exorcism, but he's taking a good bit of damage from his Arctic Blast.
Yeah, Shaker showing up as well should keep them off that tower now.
Overall, it has to be a fantastic trade for the Radiant. I mean, you trade a 1-for-1 and you get no tower with the DP ulti. It's got to be a great trade right there.
Yeah, they need all the time they can get to get this anti-mage up and online.
If it delays the death of your mid tower by, say, a minute and a half, that's a minute and a half more time for AM to feel secure, kind of.
Wraith King looks like he's going for an Armlet Deso build this game as well.
So no Radiance, he wants to go fast. Never mind, the tower's still going to die middle. Maestro's there at the fissure, but that's not saving the tower, I don't think.
They might be able to get a deny off, though.
And they might get a kill onto KTA's Wyvern as well. There's the Imprisonment, will be used there on Wyvern. The Arctic Curse is there, but... yeah, he's still going to die. With the fissure from Maestro, the kill will go to Handmaid's Z from the residual damage of that Meteor Hammer. Mid-tier 1 does die, though. Does not get denied, I believe. What was killed to the Shrians. So overall, it's a Wyvern for a tower lasted. Somewhat decent trade for both teams.
Prophet's about halfway done to this Orchid.
They are going on the Shaker bottom. He has Fissure, but this is a 3 versus 1. Should be a dead Shaker. He goes for the Echo, actually. That's a pretty huge Echo. Has the mana for Fissure, however, but Furion's dropping low. That's going to be a kill on Furion. That's going to be a kill on Malefic as well. That's a 2 for 0. And Maestro doesn't even die.
That Fortify was huge. It got the tower shots to target that NP as soon as he got sight with the Earthshaker.
That was a great play, though, as well from Maestro. Just baiting them in for that Echo Slam. That was just... I was going to mention, though, he's still about 1,000 gold away from his Blink Dagger, but now he's 300 gold away from that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, this is going to be a fast Blink. However, Sand King also has his Blink Dagger, so there's probably going to be some pretty big team fights coming up here.
Yeah, there is a smoke on KTA. They have a Winter's Curse in just 4 seconds, so that is available if they want to go for it. And they have the Exorcism as well, so they can easily just smoke as 3, TP in the Furion, or even just bring the Wraith King in for a smoke if he wants to fight with that finished Armor that is currently on the Courier. So it may be time to fight. Simply knowing that the Anti-Mage is poor, and Earthshaker has not finished his Blink just yet. This might be one of the strongest points in the game for Dire. Stepbro and Smoke, they did smoke as 3, I believe. Supports are in the jungle getting some wards up. Oh, they do see OD middle, but that's not the easiest kill in the world. Blink is there from Teddy. However, M-John is in, going after KTA. Winter's Curse not being used. Self-imprisonment from Handmaid's Z. Epi as well. Hammer is dropped. Handmaid's Z does go down, as does Teddy. 1 for 1 so far. Winter's Curse is popped on M-John, and they will simply run away. Though, Razor may still look for Furion. He is hitting him, but there is not enough damage just yet. Malefic is there as well. But overall, 1 for 1 trade. We're calling that team fight relatively a wash, right? Or is it simply good for DarkW for the game state?
I think it's actually good for DarkW here. Wraith King's going back for this Radiance, which I think may be a little bit detrimental. It's going to give time for this Anti-Mage to come online before he picks that up.
The Anti-Mage currently about 1,300 gold away from that Battle Fury. Probably closer to 1,200 gold now. So he's coming up on a Claymore, so he's not that far away from getting Battle Fury. We are seeing Malefic. He is trading with M-John. M-John will go down, though, with the help of Teddy. There is a Siphon being used onto Handmaid's Z. M-John actually not dead just yet, but he will eventually die to the Furion who comes in here with the Sprout and the... Wait, is M-John... M-John's still on the run, actually. He tries to TP. Is there a vision? He gets out! Wow! That's huge. Huge jukes by M-John. I mean, the man, the myth, the legend, M-John, escaping on that Razor. KU is fighting top lane, has that magic wand charges, but not enough to pop the Reincarnate if they go in, but that's a hard dive. And Maestro did finish his Blink Dagger as well, so that's a very, very important item on Earthshaker. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Teddy did go in. They are now trading with M-John once again. Exorcism is over. Static Link is used. Death Prophet taking some damage. And DarkW have fully arrived. Lift is there. Down goes Handmaid's. Down goes Malefic. M-John very low. He's not dead just yet, but with the epicenter being popped, that's a huge echo once again from Maestro. My lord, but it's not enough to turn the team fight. He'll go down in the very end. It's a 4-for-2 trade in favor of Stepbro. I'm stuck. The lone survivor, Apex, pushing up the top lane for creeps. I thought for a second.
Huge for Stepbro. I'm stuck.
Yeah, it's funny. This is exactly what I said in the draft. Like, all right. This is good for DarkW, but say Stepbro I'm stuck takes some like 4-for-2 team fight at minute 15. And what do you know? You get a 4-for-2 team fight at minute 16. I call that a win. Either way, though, that's absolutely huge. It's that 4-for-4 team fight going as one-sided as it did. I mean, you lose a couple heroes, but overall, that's a fantastic trade.
Looks like they're going on this anti-mage here. They have the stun, they have the Orchid follow-up as well.
They lack more stuns, but there should be an Orchid damage at the end. Yeah, they will finally kill Apex. Maestro is there looking for a counter kill, but he's out of spells.
They're wrapping here, though.
Yeah, Hanmeizi has the imprisonment. Might drop the Meteor Hammer. Might not even need it. Hammer is dropped. Furion goes down. Now Malefic taking a lot of damage. Stunned by Maestro on 3 this time. Teddy on the side has his spells available. Malefic does go down. Imprisonment is there on the Wraith King. They're in the fight. Teddy taking a lot of damage from N-John. Not dead just yet, thanks, but now he's dead. Dead to the Fade Bolt. That was a foregone conclusion, but still. Despite the anti-mage dying, pretty good team fight for DarkW. 3-for-1 in their favor, and Apex will now just rotate into the bottom lane to get his fix on last hits in gold.
Despite the cores being a little bit poor on the Radiant, their supports are very farmed, and it's winning them some of these team fights.
You're seeing it in terms of these items as well. I mean, ET on the Rubric has a Glimmer Cape. Shaker has a Blink Dagger already halfway to his Shard at minute 20. They're very rich. I mean, they're even buying very similar items there on the Dire. It's just Glimmer Cape not even close to being done on Wyvern just yet. Nor the Force Staff.
Anti-Mage just finishing up his Battle Fury now. We should start to see him rise in net worth here.
Yes, this is time to farm. We've seen it 6th in net worth now, but give it, I don't know, 12 minutes? He'll probably be 1st in net worth. Nobody is too far ahead of him. Wraith King is still 2,000 away from that Radiance of his own, so no huge farm accelerant just yet finished on him. Stepbro stuck. They did smoke up on 3, but unable to find anybody on DarkW. DarkW simply headed to the top area of the map, pushing out that lane, possibly applying some pressure to that tier 1 top. Yeah.
Sand King's almost finished his Yules, and it looks like Prophet's going for a BKB next, so it's looking like they want to push the tempo again very soon.
They are still a little bit away from both of those items, but they'll have both soon enough. There's a Van Brace on the ground. Stepbro Stock has not claimed this Van Brace just yet, but I'm sure somebody will grab it eventually, right?
Maybe. You never know.
If it's not them, then DarkW will grab it eventually when they head through the jungle here. Teddy, though, wants to defend. Epi is there. Burrow on Handmaid's, taking a lot of damage. He's self-imprisoned. He's okay for now. In comes the Furion. The Orchid will be there if he wants to do it, and he will use it. Glimmer is there from BT. Is there detection? There's a Dust, but he's still alive for now. In comes Malefic, trying to get a kill. Will look for ET. Siphon is there. He's going in. M-John uses the
Teddy
link.
found the OD.
OD went down. It's a huge kill for Teddy. Now ET taking an immense amount of damage. Furion comes in. 2 kills for Stepbro stuck. Fisher's there from Maestro, but once again, more kills for Stepbro stuck. It's a huge play from Teddy.
Unfortunately, they don't have the wave, though. Otherwise, they would have been able to use the rest of that DP ult to potentially get a tier 2 tower out of it.
Yeah, there's still the creeps top lane from Radiant's tier 1 push. Winter's Curse is used middle, but is there enough follow-up damage is the question. Fissure is there from Maestro, Orchid as well, so AM might just go down here. DarkW is trying to help him, but there simply isn't enough help to save him. Another huge kill for Stepbro. I'm stuck. And they have all the momentum right now. They're getting all these key kills on DarkW. The question is, how do they turn these key kills into more? We're seeing the answer bottom lane. KU is there on Wraith King, has that siege unit trying to take bottom tower, but the glyph, it's strong.
Wraith King's closing in on that Radiance, only about 500 gold away now.
Yeah, he's very, very farmed still. He is going in onto Handmingzi. Dire, not much help just yet. Fissure is there, Furion is there as well. There's enough mana for Reincarnate, it will get popped relatively soon. In the back, meanwhile, Malefic will simply TP away. However, Mr. League of Legends might not be so lucky. Stunned up by Maestro. A lot of damage. Teddy trying to do something. Burrow was on 2 with the Epicenter. Wyvern doesn't have ultimate, however. It's still on cooldown for 20 more seconds, and Teddy simply will die as well. Probably. Yeah, he certainly did, actually. There's no saving that man. 2 kills to ET. And all that while as well, while the Wraith King was fighting, Anti-Mage was simply farming, simply split pushing, is finished his Yasha already, so he's doing alright for himself now. He's starting to recover.
He's gonna need that Manta quick though, with 2 silences on the Dire. It's got him killed twice so far.
Yeah, he's still about 2,000 gold away, so he's not that close just yet, but...
Yeah, you can't really afford another death though, otherwise the Wraith King is probably gonna death spiral out of control.
Yeah, I mean, there's already 4 deaths, and the 5th one, they might just go on him top lane. Winter's Curse is there Nature's Prophet? He does TP in. Orchid is there help? Maestro with the Fissure. Apex gets imprisoned as well. Orchid will not do damage, thank that huge save from Handmingzi, and now the turn is there. They're going on Mr. League of Legends. ET with the lift, and they're simply going to bring down the Furion. Huge counter by DarkW, and M-John in the back lines as well, looking for that Winter Wyvern. No mana for Link, but no mana for Link is required. 2 kills and a very important save onto Apex's Anti-Mage. What could have been a huge game-defining pickoff for Stepbro. I'm stuck. Turns into an absolute disaster in about 25 seconds.
Yeah, Stepbro is really trying to push the pace. They have the right idea. They have this deep ward in the triangle. They're hunting this Anti-Mage, but just unlucky that there was a fast reaction time from DarkW to save that Anti-Mage.
That's the difference right there between a good team and a great team. A good team would have let their Anti-Mage die, but DarkW, they are saving their Anti-Mage. They are not letting him die.
Yeah, Tint would have been on Sand King pushing a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, being like, "Oh, it's okay. Just give me space, Tint." Either way, though, Stepbro stuck. They are alive again. They have all their abilities up in just 13 seconds. They might possibly smoke here towards their tri-camp. Yeah, they have one on the Winter Wyvern if they want to go for it, but he is not TPing in there just yet. Instead, DarkW simply farming some more. There's a double damage on Apex, but that will simply be a double creep farming rune because they are in no position to go Roshan. Fissure is used on Malefic. They are going in, actually. There is a little bit of follow-up damage. In comes M-John. The banishment is there, but Teddy in the backlines will stun up 2. Wraith King stun as well. 2 on DarkW are dead. Winter's Curse is there on M-John. They're going to go for 3. Yeah, it will only be 3. Handmingzi does escape in the very end, but M-John will get run down. 3 kills. 4 Stepbro stuck, and they are immediately taking it into the Roshan pit. They still have a little bit of duration left on that Exorcism. They have a Blightstone on Nature's Prophet. This Roshan is not very long for life. And even though Apex does finish up that Manta style, this game is suddenly pretty hard still. Because that is an entirely full Aegis of the Immortal going towards this Wraith King. Has 3 lives. And this might just be go time. Does Stepbro stuck get any stronger than this? Maybe a BKB on Wraith King, but at that point you're probably going to have a BKB on Razor, and then it's going to be tough because he can just take the Wraith King out of the fight. So I think this is definitely their time to go. They need to get all 3 of these outer towers.
So the burden of execution, however, it's there.
They also need their ults back up.
But it's going to be a disaster. Malefic, he's trading at Apex. This is not a good trade. In comes Handmingzi. Imprisonment is there on Teddy. Mana Void was cancelled by that silence, but he'll eventually die there on the... Actually, not on the death spot, but Sand King over, not so lucky. Never mind,
She
Malefic will
left
die
out,
as well with that link from Mjon. KTA may look for a curse. They already used a Force Staff, but there's only so long you can delay this death. And KTA actually does save Malefic. He's still alive as well, actually. They're turning. In comes Furion, in comes Wraith King. They are on this high ground. Meter Hammer is being used, but ultimately will be used on nothing. Correction, will be cancelled even. Razor once again going in. Wraith King doing a lot of damage. Lift is there from ET. Still has 3 lives. Fissure is on 2. Stunning up both. Back from Sand King. Echo is there. Furion uses BKB. Trading with ET. Silences up Handmingzy. In comes Maestro once again. Doing damage. In comes Teddy. Epicenter. Burrow only on 1. But it kills Maestro. And ET being dead as well means this fight is a disaster for DarkW. And then once again, Mjon goes down.
Okay, now it's a disaster. It was okay. They forced the Sand King buyback. They got the kill on the DP. She actually respawned. And then you had the anti-mage farming that whole time, so it was pretty decent space. But then, unfortunately, Mjon does get picked up in the back after that.
Yeah, they didn't even die in the death prophet. They actually lived on the death prophet. They lived in the river and they just didn't die.
They did live.
He came down to like maybe 100 HP on death prophet, 100 HP on river. Neither died there. With the buyback from Teddy, they kept the Furion alive as well. So there's 3 different heroes on Stepbro I'm stuck within like 1 hit of dying, and none of them died. That's an unbelievably thin margin team fight, but one for Stepbro I'm stuck that might just be the difference between winning and losing.
Well, they still have the Aegis on Wraith King. They can definitely force high ground now.
Lift is there from ET, but Exorcism once again is popped. Rubik, still Skeleton, still have Vampiric Spirit. Wraith King is taking a lot of damage, has the Reincarnate level 3 up though. Fissure is there, does block him in, but he does still have 2 more lives if he dies here. Banishment from Handmingzy, I believe will get the kill. He'll go down. But he's still alive for a very long time. KU just blinks away. Malefic, however, might not be so lucky. Lift is there. Fissure's on 3. Huge Fissure. Huge triple stuns there by Maestro. But no actual follow-up being done. Mjon, meanwhile, gets silenced. He is actually still alive, as is Malefic, who was hammered. Mjon finally going down. Malefic using those siphons. Winter's Curse was used on Maestro. Burrow from 2 on to... Oh god, this is an absolute disaster for DarkW. Maestro taking so much damage. They're almost at the fountain. Meter Hammer is dropped by Handmingzy. Oh my. In comes Apex though. Down goes Malefic. They're still trading, and the racks are still alive. But the problem is, where are the base defenders? Handmingzy is there. Banishment is there onto KU. In goes Apex. Manta is popped. Has that Basher. Has no Mana Void, however. I believe this time the Aegis was popped. Never mind, it's simply Reincarnate once again. Maestro stuns 3 with the Echo Slam, but he goes down. Imprisonment once again from Handmingzy, but the racks are already falling. Epi is there. It's onto the buyback to Maestro. He goes down. That's a dieback. Mjon is back. He's getting Yules. Meanwhile, in the other end of the fight, Apex brings down Furion with that Basher. And now it is time to counter kills. Teddy gets lifted. He goes down, but the defense was not the greatest defense in the world. They used buybacks, but they still lost that. Is that simply a good defense or a bad defense?
I think that's okay. They gave a lot of space for the AM. He managed to pick up a Skull Basher. He's almost done his Abyssal. They did give up melee racks, and they did use 1 buyback. However, I think the amount of space they were able to create, it was relatively okay, considering that was an Aegis push. They didn't get rid of the Aegis, which kind of sucks, but by the next time that Stepbro I'm stuck is ready to push, it should be gone, which might be a saving grace for this DarkW.
They're going on ET middle, but he does have that Glimmer Cape still. Might be... he should be fine. There is no detection there. Yeah, with the Force Staff, ET should be just fine. Yeah, the Aegis has expired. Down to 2 lives in that Wraith King. He does have the Shard, however, so there will be no mana burns taking away that 2nd life today. Actually, the more I think about it, it actually is relatively fine. I mean, they lost melee racks, but they only lost melee racks.
BKBs are coming out on the Radiant too. If the Dire don't end soon, it's going to be a lot harder. Especially with these BKBs coming up. A lot of their team is magic damage, and it's definitely going to hurt to fight into that.
So they appear to have bought just enough time, but the thing is, they still have a bit of a chance. Stepbro stuck is still in the lead, and they still have a chance to take a very strong team fight if they can find the right opening. DarkW, however, they are not letting this game go to waste. They are smoked on 3. Apex as well goes in, just finds KTA with that Abyssal Blade. Teddy has TP'd in, but he is going for something, but the imprisonment already defensively used by offensively used by Handming.
Oh, that was a nice four-staff dodge there.
This is, it's crazy. These fights are getting a little bit crazy right now. It's a lot of in and outs.
Actually almost done his own BKB.
This is a game of BKBs. Neither of the big cores of the game have theirs yet, but we're getting close to one on Razor. We're getting close to one on OD. We're getting close to one on Sand King. We're getting a finished one. I think 8-second duration? Yeah, 8-second duration on Furion, so a lot of BKBs on these heroes. What is DarkW up to? They're drawing arrows. They don't have any smokes available, but they appear to be thinking that Stepbro Stuck is moving downwards in the map, and they want to mirror the movement going upwards. With that Abyssal on the AM, they might find some kind of possible kill, but looks like nobody's going to die just yet. And that's a finished BKB on Sand King. It's 10 seconds. It's huge. Overall, though, as these key items come in, I mean, Abyssal on Anti-Mage, a lot of BKBs for both teams. How do these team fights suddenly change?
I think it's gonna come down to who gets the initiation and whether or not it's that anti-mage Abyssal Blade picking a hero off during the fight. It is definitely going to be hard to bring down this AM, and once this OD or Razor get a BKB, you're going to have to pick them off before they get those off, or they're going to become very hard to kill other than just wasting those BKB charges with a Wyvern ult. But the Wyvern ult definitely won't kill anyone because nobody should be standing near this AM. And he's the only one capable of really killing anyone during the Wyvern ult.
It seems like they have to jump onto the OD in these fights, but jumping onto OD might not be easy. That means he has positioned pretty well this game. And with the Blink and the Force and the BKB, it's easier said than done.
Plus a Wraith King for counter initiation and a Rubik with the Glimmer Cape and Force Staff, it's definitely hard to jump on these cores.
Now looking over at Stepbro, I'm stuck. They are still playing aggressively towards the Roshan pit. It has respawn. That's a relatively low respawn time, if I had to guess. And they will smoke on 3.
The Radiant have scanned it, so they know they're definitely close by to it.
Yeah, they're drawing circles. ET drew a circle, hit 4 heroes, so they're aware what's going on here. They did counter smoke, so maybe some kind of shenanigans going on here. Both teams playing relatively defensively.
They are in the Roche pit, however, so either they need to contest this or continue to split push and apply pressure on the map.
They are doing a little bit of damage to Maestro, but not much follow-up. Yeah, ET's Courier tried to scout it, but I mean, I got scouted one shot.
Now, they don't know how much health there is, but they know they're in the pit. Looks like they don't want to contest, though.
Yep,
not into everything with EP.
They are simply ready to once again take on the gauntlet, take on the 3 or 4 lives of Wraith King and high ground defense. And they'll try to get a tier 2 bottom lane, but never mind, they're gonna go on Malefic. Abyssal is there, doing a lot of damage to Death but she uses. She has a BKB as well. However, it's not gotten off. The Visor, it was there from Maestro. Teddy blinks in, but overall, simply a 1 for 0. Malefic is now dead. DarkW are on the retreat, and they got what they wanted.
Good pick off for DarkW, though. That's gonna waste a minute of the Aegis.
I thought for a second that DP is going to be fine there with that BKB. Meanwhile, KU once again goes on Handming. He stunned him up. In comes Teddy. Burrow only on 1, I believe. Epi will get popped. Will get cancelled, actually. Meanwhile, Link is there on Furion. Force away from ET. He'll be fine. Meanwhile, Winter's Curse is used on Handming. Stun once again on Wraith King. He's going to be possibly killed here. Never mind. Imprisonment is used on Wraith King. In comes Furion. He'll finally die. So far, only OD is dead. Apex will simply blink away. He'll be okay on the other end of the fight. And now, OD is dead for 70 seconds, and they're looking for Anti-Mage. Can they find him? Silence is there. Manta is still up. The Yules is there from Malefic. Still has not popped the Manta just yet. Hex is there, however. They will find Apex with that Orchid, and they will finally bring him down. It's his first death in a very, very long time, but his most consequential death of the game. And he's dead for 92 seconds and no buyback.
Well, they actually have the Aegis of the Immortal on the Nature's Prophet. That's a huge pick-off in Hex reveal.
Actually, this is, I mean, he's finished the Butterfly on Anti-Mage. Because he finished the Butterfly, he doesn't have buyback. It's high ground time.
Radiant have a good high ground, but it is a little bit difficult when it is a Wraith King up there beating up your throne, well, your towers.
And we're seeing DarkW pushing multiple side lanes, MJon in the mid lane, ET in the bottom lane, but I mean, they're going to have to defend. There's no really option of not defending. They have to delay for 55 more seconds. The Skeletons, they're pounding. Stepbro stuck. They pop a smoke. Exorcism still not used just yet. It will finally get popped on Malefic. In comes Teddy, stuns up Handmingzy. No save just yet. Maestro, Fissure on 2, stuns up on 3. BKBs are being popped. Echo is there. Not too much damage, however. Nobody dead just yet. Teddy, once again blinking onto Maestro. He'll finally go down. First casualty of the team fight. He'll buy back. Tower is dead. Rack's taking damage. Is there a defense? Is there a follow-up? Stun? It's on 3 from Maestro. Lift is there. Follow-up stun on 3. In comes MJon, doing a lot of damage. Malefic, once again, using that Siphon in the back lines of the fight. But the Racks, they're still taking a ton of damage. Link, not too much damage stolen. Racks are down. In comes Maestro. Stun on 3. Follow-up stun on 2. He still has Hammer on the Handmingzy. Drops the Meteor Hammer first. Meanwhile, though, MJon gets hexed. He's possibly going to go down. He'll go down. However, though, Apex is back. KTA goes down. Has Abyssal on cooldown, but the Aegis is popped. They're looking for more. Looking for Wraith King. Might still find him. He's still brawling. Meanwhile, though, League of Legends goes down. Can KU escape? He will escape, but still. I mean, it's a costly defense. But they defended. The game is not over just yet.
It's gonna be definitely hard though. The side racks are the biggest ones to get, because obviously they give you the most amount of map control.
And leaving it the range racks bottom. Alright, there is the remaining lane of racks. That middle one. Saved simply by that tier 2 and tier 3 tower, but still. Apex looking for a pickoff, goes there onto Teddy, I believe. BKB is popped, but he'll simply go down with that bash. Huge pickoff from Apex.
Huge ward as well to spot out that Sand King in the trees.
Yeah, looking at that vision, they barely saw him at the edge there of this ward in the high grounds. He was thinking, oh, I'm Sand King, I'll sit in the trees, I'm going to be A-okay. Turns out, no, not okay.
The question is, will we see it? Will we see a Rapier pick up on AM? You're 2 racks down.
I think it's possible. I think he might go for a like a Satanic or a BKB instead, but it wouldn't shock me if he goes for a Rapier. Ooh, that's an Illusion Escape and Anti-Magic as well. That's a huge neutral item to get, actually. DarkW, they're going to go for this top tier 2. Stepbro stuck, not even thinking about defending it, which is certainly the wise move. And now there is just 2 high ground towers remaining. That bottom tier 2 for the Dire. Middle tier 2 for the Radiant. Looks like DarkW are heading through the mid lane. They did Abyssal that Illusion. And he used a lot in the Illusion, but ultimately it was just an illusion. And DarkW will run away. Not get caught here. Once again, ET drawing out arrows. Possibly wants them to head into the Dire Tri-Camp as such, but they could simply be content with delaying the game a little bit longer, knowing the Sand King is alive, and it will be a 5v5 fight if they do fight.
Wraith King is finished up an Abyssal Blade, but he bought out for it. He doesn't have buyback. If he dies, it could actually be a GG the other way.
It is certainly not the easiest time killing him with the Reincarnate and the cheese, and still, he doesn't have the BKB though, so he is possibly still killable to these magic damage. I say if OD can really get onto him without being killed, then there's a lot of damage potential there, but...
He does, however, find a Minotaur Horn, which could be huge since he doesn't have a BKB yet.
He sent it back. He's keeping the spider legs. I'm not sure where the horn is going, but it's not going to be onto that Wraith King, at least not just yet.
Could be huge on maybe someone like the Death Prophet.
speaking of rapiers, you look at the quick buy for the Wraith King. He has a rapier in the quick buy. It's rapier gaming time. Looking over at AM, he will opt for the Scotty instead. Simply reducing lifesteal, allowing him to man fight a bit better. Give him a bit of raw stats as well. Always nice to have raw stats on your anti-mage.
Looks like OD is looking for a Hex.
Yeah, that'll be huge. Especially if they can find one of these key Dire heroes for to use BKB, say Nature's Prophet or Tedium as Sand King. Huge finds if they can get either. Yeah, bottom line, we're seeing the War of Illusions. We saw the Furion illusion fighting the Anti-Mage illusion, but ultimately both die because, well, they're illusions. Yeah, I'm getting too emotionally invested in illusions this game. Either way, though, we're seeing that both teams relatively closely grouped, other than Anti-Mage. I'm looking over at smokes. I don't see any smokes. I'm not seeing any on Malefic or KTA. There's one on ET, however, so DarkW may look for a smoke at some point. That is the only smoke I see. Overall, we're not at the point in the game where it's the anticipation, you know what I mean? It's... Because really, we're one team fight away from either team winning. This is that sort of tension.
Yeah, both teams just want to make sure they have all 5 of their buybacks up.
Yeah, looking over at buyback status, 6 heroes have it currently. Both teams have question. Dire is missing 3 buybacks, and Radiant is missing 1. Only Maestro's on cooldown. Dire simply lacked the goal for 3 buybacks.
They see the Wraith King, but Apex keeps walking. He's looking for somebody else. Maestro gets spotted out by the Wraith King, though.
Stun is there on Wraith King. He has that cheese. He's stunned up by Maestro. Apex goes in. You set a Abyssal on something. No, Wraith King using the Abyssal. Meanwhile, Odie taking a lot of damage. Epicenter is there. Handling Z pops that BKB. He's alive for now, but he finally got to the Furion. Meanwhile, Maestro stuns at Malefic. A lot of stuns being used. There's a Mana Void. Not used just yet. He'll simply blink away there. Lift. Oh god, this team fight is getting chaotic. And it looks like M-John will now be gone on by the Dire if they can find him. Abyssal is there, as is the Burrow from Sand King. He's taking a lot of damage. Is there any help from DarkW? It appears not to be. They appear to be going on ET as well, but they're not going to find ET. Instead, they'll simply find M-John. The kill will head to that Nature's Prophet. And there is a buyback on Razor. But overall, good fight for Stepbro. I'm stuck. 2 kills to 0. Buyback was forced on the OD. The question is it enough of a team fight win to force high ground? They might try to force a buyback out of Razor. Oh boy. Yeah, the tower is down. It is high ground attempts once again. Last 2 attempts have gone well for Stepbro. I'm stuck. They came for barracks. They got barracks both times. But both times, it was a very costly retreat. DarkW picking up key heroes both times. This time, however, I think they'll be fine with dying. Because it is the Megas if they can claim one more lane of barracks. However, DarkW, they recognize, alright, times are scary. They do have a smoke in the inventory of ET if they want to go for it. They are minding a potential Roshan. They are sending illusions over to scout it out. Have not seen into the pit just yet. Both teams will learn what we're about to learn. Roshan is now up. Dire immediately spotted. Meanwhile, they're blinking in onto ET. Stun is there from Sand King. He's now there for 85. He does have buyback, however. And they are now headed to the Roshan pit. Nature's Prophet, he is there. Has no tree ability available. Has no Nature's Call. But they will simply right-click the Roshan. Wraith King coming in. They're hitting it on 3. Yeah, Rubric will buy back. They're not getting up the Roshan. They will immediately smoke onto 4 after this wave goes down. The question is, though, can they get to Roshan in time? And the answer is no. Roshan already dead. They might just look for a fight anyways, though. They are still smoked. Looking over
Anti-Mage has picked up his Scotty now.
Yeah, Anti-Mage's getting huge. He still has buyback as well, so... He is a very, very large man. ET drawing the circle, gets all 5 heroes in there once again, but...
Wraith King finishes his rapier.
That
He
man.
has no buyback, but a rapier. They want to end now.
He's all in. You love to see it. And looking at DarkW, there's a fissure onto 1. They're still stunning up Malefic. Lift as well, but yeah, they're simply going to run away a little bit now.
I think they're just trying to force BKB charges, screw with them a little bit.
is bottom, drops a Meteor Hammer. There is a Hex and a Bloodthorn if they want to go for it, and they will go for it.
Team's moving on this.
This could be the last fight of the game. They're going on Handling Z. Silence is there. BKBs are popped. Mids both dropping low. Stun is there on ET. That's a dieback. Down goes Handling Z. Also a dieback. And they're now looking for Maestro. They found him with the Winter's Curse. That's going to be 3 kills. Dear God, it's an absolute disaster for DarkW. Does he have buyback? He has buyback, but it's a 3v5 defense, and they're still fighting into the Aegis. They're still fighting into Reincarnates. This is going to be a very difficult defense. Anti-Mage, he's in the back. Abyssal up the Wyvern. Wyvern, however, not dead just yet. Stun is there from Teddy. In comes the Echo. It's on 2. Stunning them up. Anti-Mage, Manta already popped, taking a lot of damage. He's hexed. He'll go down, as does Maestro. That's a dieback. It's a 2v5. Stun misses on M-John. He pops BKB. Buyback from Apex. They're looking for more, however. The tower, it's being sieged. It goes down. They're focusing the buildings. Abyssal, it's on M-John. Bloodthorn as well. He goes down. He has a buyback. He'll buy back. Hex up Apex. Will he go down here? Is there more stuns? He Mantis. He's okay for now. M-John takes a bit of damage from the Wraith King, but the barracks still go down to those treants. That's mega creeps for Stepbro. I'm stuck. And the GG is called. Dear God. That's a huge win there for Stepbro. I'm stuck. Dear God.
Yeah, they managed to find those key pickoffs on the AM and just slowed his game down enough that the Wraith King was able to stay above him for most of the game, and then even when AM did finally catch up, the Wraith King was already online enough to deal with him.
This is one of those games where this is a real back and forth game, and really until the very end, the economy was very, very close as well. I mean, we're seeing a literal DarkW net worth be like minute 44, and then suddenly it's 30k at minute 47. Dear God. This was this was an absolute Dota game.
Yeah. Some very high skill Dota played.
I mean, both teams, they did their job, too. In Stepbro I'm stuck, they clearly wanted to take some towers, apply a lot of pressure, and they did that. But even though they did that, DarkW still farmed up their key heroes. But, I mean, that 5th death on Apex, that was a very costly death. That was the one in the top jungle. Of all the deaths that game, that was the only death that really had a lot of consequence. And this is a fantastic Dota game. I think if you're both teams, you have to be relatively happy with the way your team played there, but if you're DarkW, it's just a little bit more. We saw some very key saves there on Anti-Mage in the top T2 early in the game. We saw some very good stuns there by Maestro, but there's a little bit short on that W. Yeah, lobby is still not up, I believe. Do you see it up?
I haven't been looking. I've been inspecting my buy order, which finally went through. I now have the Spying Toadstool award to match my Mike the Delivery Frog courier.
Nice. Oh. Alright, looks like Stepbro I'm Stuck are asking for a lobby. That's I believe KTA is asking where the lobby is, so. Looks like they're on the same page as me right now. They're wondering where the lobby is. I'm wondering if it's possible we're going to see Sasquatch for game number 2. I believe Sasquatch's former commitments is resolved now. So he might be available for this game number 2.
Yeah, he had to play in the finals of another league or tournament.
I'm assuming that's finished at this point, right?
I don't know. Maybe he just is giga brain and he's able to watch a cast and play at the same time.
It wouldn't shock me, honestly, but I'm calling that relatively implausible.
Unless you're Silver Pike, you can play RuneScape and Dota at the same time.
Oh, you know, it requires a lot more, a lot more brain power to watch a Dota cast than it does to play old school RuneScape.
Alright, I believe the lobby is now up. Game client is out of date.
Oh, fantastic. Well, time to reload Dota.
I hope it's not this anime teaser trailer, because I don't watch animes, and
I'm going to get my Twitch
degenerate.
copyright strike for watching the trailer.
Nah, Twitch doesn't care about your channel, they only care about Guam's. If you want to support the channel, subscribe to twitch.tv/USS Guam.
I don't understand that meme. I don't get it.
Just accept it.
No,
This
because
is
that so somebody's gonna fall for it and sub to Guam, hoping to sub to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want people to sub to Guam. Or if they do, I mean, I don't mind them subbing to Guam, but it's like, if they're making this binary choice between subbing to Guam and subbing to me, I'm gonna take me.
I've already linked it. It's too late.
I know you've linked it. It's still, I can see it in the sidebar. It's been there for like the last hour.
Yikes, Badger doesn't want to join my superior Canadian cast.
No.
Do you even like the name of my broadcasting channel?
I'm just gonna untoggle broadcast channels. I'm not gonna look at that.
It's fantastic.
Ay. Either way, though, I'm excited to see game number 2. We are still waiting on Stepbro. I'm stuck to join the lobby. I believe Malefic had to go to the bathroom, so we might be waiting on that to happen. Come join my broadcast channel, you absolute chuckle. Bad. Come on.
Just remember, you asked me to be here, not the other way around.
That is true, actually, but I asked you to come here not expecting a betrayal of that magnitude.
Okay, fine, I'll change it.
What do you mean, change it? Tell me about Djibouti, sir.
It's a country.
Yeah, that's
In the Middle East.
about everything. No.
That's about it.
Right? That would technically not be the Middle East, right? It'd be on the Horn of Africa.
True.
I guess it's Middle East adjacent, assuming... Because it's not far from, like, Yemen, but... It's in Africa.
Close.
Djibouti's also relatively irrelevant, you know what I mean?
Yikes. Calls other countries irrelevant.
No, I'm being very literal. Like, if you had to, like, list countries from 1 to, I don't know, whatever you want to define number of countries, let's just say 200 for number's sake. Would you put Djibouti in the top 150 of relevant countries?
Yeah, it would be number 2, but number 1 in our hearts.
Jesus Christ. So we're saying it's more relevant than, you know, China, USA, UK, Germany, Japan, India, Russia, all those countries?
Well, I'll let you know. Relevancy is a game of inches.
Jesus Christ, this game needs to start already. This Dota game needs to start already. This intercession is... This is it's an exercise in futility and an exercise in trolling Badger right now.
You know what? I'll give your brain a break. I will be right back.
Fantastic. Just adjusting my headphones as well. Probably need to return these. I've been invited to play Dota. I'm calling that a... Don't they have the setting on? No, apparently it doesn't apply to that, but... Either way.
Alright. I'm back.
Yeah, we didn't miss too much.
You're not gonna make them mark the win?
Listen,
You don't expect that out of people anymore.
I mean, I don't expect it out of the average lads lobby maker, but I do expect it out of large-brained individual Mike Hamlingsy.
So you only expect it out of Mike and Mike?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mike
I
is cool.
I only trust drafters named Mike, apparently.
I'm not going to specify which Mike is cool, but Mike is cool.
Even though I guess Mike doesn't draft for tacos. Simply the out-of-game captain. Oh, they didn't do it. It's okay. I'm gonna go into OBS series.
Well, I wouldn't really say Snow drafts. Snow just kind of
Presses buttons.
presses buttons, hits his keyboard like an ape.
Who's on Radiant? Who's on Dire?
Stepbro, I'm stuck as Radiant, Dire is DarkW forehead.
Okay. There we go.
Same band so far.
We are already technically seeing a new draft, though. I don't think, was Oracle even touched last draft?
It was banned first, along with Terrorblade.
It was? No.
It was.
I thought, it was, yeah. Never mind. It was, Oracle, Terrorblade, Nyx, Monkey King first phase bans. I just forgot about Oracle being banned. I thought some other hero got banned or something. I remember, like, Terrorblade, Nyx, Monkey being banned. Probably forgot about Oracle. Obviously, KTA, quite an Oracle player. Oracle, certainly a support that fits what supports do in the current patch. And a lot of the fives. They do a lot of saves. Oracle's certainly good at doing that. And looks like we will see Stepbro Stuck get their chance at first pick this game. DarkW had it last game. And now Stepbro Stuck's going to happen. I think both teams opted for second pick when they had the choice. Because Hamlingsy chose second pick this game, and I mean Stepbro Stuck had to have won the coin flip, and I'm guessing they chose second pick over Dire.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody even like Dire anymore?
I was actually playing in a scrim the other day, and the other team picked Dire. They had choice. They didn't choose pick. They chose Dire.
I hate Dire.
Yeah.
I like playing Radiant offlane better. I like playing Radiant carry better because the tri-camp's better. Playing Radiant's cool.
The only thing that is worse on the Radiant is being a pos 5 for the laning stage. That is it.
One thing I don't have to care about. Very cool.
Yeah. I don't have to do it either because I do not play pos 5 anymore.
Congratulations.
Yes. I still play like a pos 5. You can clearly tell that if you watch my gameplay, but
Either way, though, we will see a very similar start to the draft. Death Prophet will be the first pick for Stepbro Stuck. He picked it second overall last game. We'll pick it first overall this game. And OD is still available if DarkW want to mirror that movement, though. And they'll go for a Witch Doctor. What's is that like a hero that will trade well into Death Prophet in this game? Why the Witch Doctor first overall?
It won't trade well in lane, but I think it's good for burst damage into the DP. The only problem is you have to worry about that AoE silence for Witch Doctor's ult. I would have actually liked to see an AA here. Just don't ban the Oracle or the DP, and just pick AA.
It's just funny how things can change from one draft to the next. Witch Doctor was not even touched last game, and now it is DarkW's first pick.
Witch Doctor does have one of the best shards in the game, though. Here, let's just give you phase shift to activate your ult.
And we'll see budget OD being picked. That is Shadow Demon being picked. Will certainly be played by KTA.
Gives them a save and a break and slow, which is nice to have.
Speaking of OD, it is still available if DarkW want it. Are they thinking about different heroes at this point, or could we still see an OD here?
I think if they pick it up, they'd probably pick it off lane. I don't think it contributed as much as they liked in the mid lane, because it kind of turned their offlane Razor into more of a carry.
Okay, we have a Lesh, a hero we could see 2, a hero we could see 3, potentially even a hero we could see 4, though we're calling that doubtful, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's been a thing for a while.
Hey, back in my day, Lesh 4 was the jam. It's been
back in my day, Conquer 4 was the jam.
It's been quite a few days in between my day and the current day, so times have changed.
Yeah. Back in my day, X marks didn't have scaling range, and you could just smoke level 2 and gank mid without breaking your smoke with the next mark. It was fantastic.
Back in my day, Diabolic Edict had no cast time. Good times. Those are great times, actually. By great, I mean terrible, but still. We're seeing a lot of carries being banned here. Jug, PL, Wraith King, Terrorblade, all casualties to the almighty ban button. Well, there are still some of the dominant meta carries unbanned as of now. Riki is still unbanned, as is Troll Warlord.
Yeah, I think the carry meta has kind of switched from 1 or 2 broken heroes to a bunch of really good solid heroes. So it's hard to ban them all out now, but it gives teams in the meta a lot more options to draft different drafts and be more flexible, knowing that they don't need to 8-pick their carries.
Alright, we are seeing Earth Spirit. That is certainly a Maestro Hero 4, correct?
I believe so, but this does look a little bit like a rough Earth Spirit game. I would not want to be playing Earth Spirit into a DP, personally, but I'm also not a very good Earth Spirit.
On the bright side, he'll be landing into the Shadow Demon, we're assuming, but that also doesn't seem great.
It's alright, if you have an aggressive offlaner, I think. You could set up a lot of kills that way. Kind of does a similar thing in lane as a Earthshaker.
Oh, take these damn headphones off.
Looks like there was an accident.
I want to swap out my headphones. 1 second. Alright, that's better. Sorry about that. I got a new pair of headphones, but they were relatively cheap, and apparently I got what I paid for, because they're not very good. And they're genuinely painful to wear glasses, so no can do. We have seen a hero being picked that is a carry, that is Phantom Assassin.
Looks not like a not a half bad Slark game.
Yeah, I mean it could be hard to like stay on kills sometimes, but Shadow Demon, Death Prophet, and not really heroes who can necessarily completely shut a Slark down in lane. Phantom Assassin, not a carrier who necessarily trades particularly well into Slark. I'm not sure how comfortable Slark is for Apex, but being a like 6.5k, 7k carry player, I'm sure he could play Slark to some degree. Huh.
Oh no, not the Venomancer.
Okay, I can't even like meme like, all right, we have a hero you're an expert on, but it is Veno. What is the idea behind picking Veno? I mean, it's probably gonna be a 3 hero here that can hypothetically lane well into the PA, right?
I think it's just the idea of defending towers. Outputs a good amount of magic damage over time. Disrupts blink daggers. However, I don't think there's going to be any blink. Okay, well now there's going to be a blink dagger probably, unless
We'll
it's
probably
an
see
Ag
a.
rush
I
thing.
mean, he'll probably go blink eventually, but I would be very shocked if he doesn't go Ags first here on. I think Teddy has gone Ags Rush Sand King before, so against Veno, it makes a lot of sense to do it this game.
I just personally don't understand Venomancer. I hate playing into it, but it never feels good when I pick it, and I always beat it.
Raveno is a lot of slows and a lot of damage over time, and not too much else.
Yeah.
They added a regen de-amplification mechanic for a little bit, but then I was like, all right, it's a little bit too much. Let's take it away.
Yeah, they increased the damage for a little bit after they took it away. It wasn't too bad, but then they reduced the damage again, and it was like, okay, well now it's just back in the crapshoot here. Unless they, no, it has to be a core Venomancer.
And it's funny how like Veno is one of the few heroes in Dota that hasn't like structurally changed in how he's played literally ever. I guess like he was played differently like 8 years ago. Ever since Veno started, he played like as a core sort of role. It just hasn't changed. Like Wraith King, for example, has changed a lot. You know what I mean? They add skeletons. You buy different items. You buy Blink. You have like all these different cooldowns you used to have. Venomancer, it's like alright, play swords, use Gale, use Nova, right click. Which actually is structurally the exact same thing you did as the support as well, where you'd use Gale, you'd use wards, you'd use Nova.
Yeah, it's just typically your skill build the first couple of levels. Kind of debates on whether you're playing core or support.
Not much has changed with that hero. Except for the hero model. The hero model, if you've not seen the old hero model for Venomancer, I would look it up in your spare time. It's much more banana looking than the current one. We used to call him Bananamancer.
He does have a banana tongue.
It's a good old callback. Either way, though, looking at bans, Morphling, Troll, Batrider, Zeus, all being banned. Stepbro, I'm stuck. Banning out some strong carry heroes, expecting a carry to be picked. DarkW banning out some strong mid heroes, expecting a mid to be picked. So, we'll have to see what they put middle. I'm expecting a mid hero to be picked here. There's still Puck available if they want it. Or they could put the DP mid as well if they want to do that. So they've got options.
I'm kind of wondering what DarkW is going to pick up for a carry. There's not a lot left in the pool. It's not really a good start game anymore with Sand King in the game.
There is Anti-Mage, but also a pretty bad Anti-Mage game, knowing there's a Shadow Demon on the other team.
And PA.
PA as well, yeah. That's probably an Ember middle. I mean, League of Legends has... Is there another name for that guy, by the way, League of Legends? Or is he just called League of Legends?
He's just called League of Legends because he was a League of Legends player.
Ah. But either way, League of Legends has played mid-Ember before in Lads. I think it was against one of the teams with a much lower record than DarkW, but the proof of concept certainly is there. He does play Ember at this sort of League of Lads level for sure, so it should be interesting to see what he does into the Lesh lane. DarkW though, they're what carries are even left actually? That one, Bloodseeker. It's a hero that, as of recently, we've seen a bit more played 3 than we have 1, but certainly still a hero that can play carry. Gonna see possibly the Aghanims Scepter being bought, get that double rupture going on, possibly one on the Phantomus, possibly one on the Ember Spirits, possibly even one on Malefic's Death Prophet. Either way, though, it should be pretty interesting. This seems like a relatively rough lane matchup for Bloodseeker. What are your thoughts on Bloodseeker plus Witch Doctor into Sand King plus DP?
I think that's actually fine for Bloodseeker, just because of his innate regen and healing and stuff. And they could probably definitely look for kills around level 2 or 3 with Maledict, as well as a Silence from Bloodseeker.
It's one of those things where Sand King wants a few levels in lane as well, so if you can get those like level 3s before Sand King's level 3, that could be a huge opportunity to get a kill there. Because Sand King get definitely, they both want 3 as well, so you get 3 before those two heroes get 3, and it could be a rough time. Either way, though, I believe we will see a... never mind, we're not going to see a pause. They were saying in the all chat earlier they would possibly need a pause when the game started, but looks like there will be no pauses being made today. Either way, though, here we go. Got DarkW once again taking on Stepbro. I'm stuck. Stepbro, I'm stuck. Did pick up the game 1 victory. Currently sitting at 12-1. DarkW now sitting at 12-3. Want to take down Stepbro, I'm stuck a peg. I mean, if Stepbro, I'm stuck wins this game, they're the presumptive 1 seed, correct?
Yeah, these were the last 2 teams that haven't been 2-0'd.
Because looking at the other top teams, I mean, they 2-0'd you guys, and they already have 1 win now against DarkW, so they're in a very good spot to take the 1 seed if they can get another win here. And even if they don't, they're still, I believe they still have like tiebreakers and stuff. They still have the stuff in their hands. KU is playing bottom, but did Dire see him at all actually at that ward? I think they might have. They might know he's there. I'm not sure, but yeah, they have to see him now. They might even go on him here. KU is being a little bit careful though, not being caught, playing very, very defensively. Oh my. Either way, though, looks like there will be no first blood. Will be a 2-for-2 bounty trade once again, with Stepbro I'm stuck claiming the top ones and DarkW claiming the bottom ones.
This could actually be a very dangerous bottom lane. There's an Orb of Venom on Earth Spirit, as well as the slow from Venomancer could just result in the kill every time Venomous Gale lands.
It's a lot of slow there, yeah. There's all situations where it's going to require good play from KU, good backing up from KTA. Because, like, say, if they can get Gale to miss, or they can dodge it with Imprisonment or something like that, then it's not many options at that point, but...
Even that's hard, though, because you have Boulder Smash as a backup.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what League of Legends does mid, though, on Ember Spirit, in terms of what he skills first. I would expect some points in Flame Guards to not die to Lash, but... Yeah, we're already seeing a Gale use bottom on KTA, but no follow-up damage just yet. Top lane, there's a cask there into Malefic, but ultimately he'll be able to tangle up. He'll be fine. Back to bottom, Maestro taking a bit of damage, as is Mjon. 2 poisons are there on Maestro. He will roll away. Malefic was able to kill Apex's Courier as well, so that's actually a fairly consequential Courier kill. Possibly hurting Bloodseeker's early game. And they're once again damaging Mjon. Dagger and Poison were used. Gale as well onto KTA. Could be a death. Mjon taking a lot of damage. He will survive actually with those stick charges. Meanwhile, KTA is dropping low. Maestro's still alive, and that's very timely stick usage by Mjon. Almost in a sense like, alright, I'm dead. And I like the way he positioned here. It's like KTA didn't go for the 4th poison because of it. Meanwhile, roll is there onto KU, but he'll blink away as well. My lord. Brawling in the bottom lane. Banishment is there. Poison as well. 2 stacks on Mjon, and the 3rd one will finally result in that tricky kill they're looking for the entire time. First blood to KTA. This is certainly the interesting lane. Bottom.
Yeah, quite a bit of action going on already.
I don't think it's going to stop. It's not going to stop anytime soon. We're seeing a lot of sticks being purchased already. 1 on Maestro, 1 on Mjon. Full wand on Mjon even. Dagger is used on Maestro. They want to get a kill here. Gale is on both, actually. With the banishment, though, yeah, he simply will try to roll away, and he will roll away, actually. Takes a bit of damage in the back end from that 1 stack of poison, but he'll be fine. Yeah, I'm looking over at these other lanes for a second, but you know what? I'm going to bottom lane again. Bottom lane's the fun one. Gale is used on KU, but they might even go for... Nah, no counter kill. I mean, if they had 3, that'd be enough damage, but Mjon a bit too tanky for now. See, they're going on M-John. Dagger is there. Blink is in. We'll have a third stack of Shadow Poison soon.
Getting gone on top.
Yeah, Malefic taking a bit of damage, but the Dagger is there onto Maestro. Meanwhile, he'll walk away. He'll be fine. Malefic, affected by Maledict, he'll also be okay. Oh my lord, these side lanes, they're crazy. They are wild and crazy tonight. And Gale is used on KU. Is there a roll in? There will not be.
Oh no, he didn't half pull the small camp. That camp's gonna die in 2 hits.
Yeah, it's even going to, with Malefic also being there, it's going to die even faster.
Oh, but he did get the pull through. Looks like Maestro wants to gank mid.
Yeah, he is set up there possibly for that roll if he wants to go for it.
He is spotted under the ward there though.
Meanwhile, bottom, they're going into M-John. They're recognizing that the Earth Spirit is gone. Dagger was there. There are only 2 stacks of poison. Only 2 stacks are needed. Kill will head to KU. Back into top lane. Spyfin is used. Their Brawling Cask is on both. Silence will be on both as well. Malefic taking a lot of damage. He'll go down, and Teddy will be fine. He'll walk away. Meanwhile, Maestro rolls in, goes in onto PA, but not enough damage, and he might just die for it. There's already 2 stacks of poison on it. Dagger is up in 1. In comes M-John. Once again, 3 stacks on Maestro. Dagger is there. Kill, not enough damage from KTA, actually. Popped it too early on the poison stacks. And now KTA might just go down. He'll get denied by KU, but now KU might just go down. He's being hit up by M-John. My lord, a tip comes out onto KU from M-John. Okay, this is a real bottom lane going on right now. Now I'm being told the score is uncentered. Oh god, I better fix that.
Come on, Badger.
I can't select it. No.
Your game.
Okay, I got it. You know, in the bottom lane, we are seeing Imprisonment be used on M-John. There are 3 stacks of poison. They may go for a 4th here. They might go for a kill. I believe 4 should be. Actually, he's doing a 5th here. He will end the 5th. That'll be a kill. A kill from KTA to M-John. Tutor gold claimed by that Shadow Demon.
Oh no. They
Oh, no?
didn't half pull again, and he even pulled the cart wave.
Siphons are there onto
I'm
ET.
losing my mind.
Burrow. Out of range from Teddy. Only level 1 Burrow. And they might just go on to KU bottom. Roll is there from Maestro. Kick under tower. Gale as well. Will blink away, trying to escape. Pops that blur active. KTA is on the way, has not arrived just yet, taking some damage from M-John, but now with the Shadow Demon being there, it's a little bit hard to get that kill. You're on the top lane, Malefic TPing away. He'll go down, though, to the damage of ET and Apex. Another tip going out. Meanwhile, bottom lane once again, M-John roll is in. KTA goes down. M-John taking a lot of damage. Blink in from Phantom Assassin. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. KU trading with Maestro. Maestro has no spells. Neither does KTA just yet. Dagger is in 1, but he's respecting the power of the Earth Spirit. Whew. Chaotic. And now Apex trying to bully Teddy out of this lane. Does not have 6 just yet, but does not stop him from dishing out those right clicks to Teddy. Looking over at mid lane, Handming currently winning it. Is level 7 versus League of Legends level 6. 47-8 CS-wise versus Ember's 30-1. Looking over at carries, as expected, Phantom Assassin is behind Bloodseeker because Bloodseeker's having a relatively fine lane, and Phantom Assassin is fighting constantly. And looking over offlaners, similar story. Sand King is mostly farming, and Veno is constantly brawling, so it is as expected in terms of CS there. A lot of poisons being thrown out by KTA, but no jumps. No kill just yet. Top lane level, a little bit petty. There's a rupture. He will pop the Epicenter, but Burrow's on cooldown. Won't actually finish Epicenter. Was canceled by that silence in the blood rate. Apex will survive. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Gale is there, as is the Imprisonment. Kick is onto 1. A lot of damage is being done to KTA, but he's not dead just yet. Meanwhile, Mjon, there are 2 stacks of poison, pops a 20 charge stick. It looks like KTA will get denied once again by KU. Can he kill Maestro, though? We'll need dagger crit, or maybe a blink in.
Careful.
And we'll simply blink away, actually.
He does get hit with the Gale, but I don't think there's going to be any follow-up. They're too low.
Yeah. He might fish for daggers, but every time he fishes for daggers, that's a little more, I'd say it's 15 more health for Mjon. So, easier said than done. Meanwhile, top lane, they are going on ET, but going on does not mean a chance of a kill, and with only a Siphon as the follow-up, there will be no kill today. Let's see here. Yeah, left is far, bottom lane once again. Mjon being gone on does use Gale on 2, but Maestro is not there. Blink in from KU. Third stack of poison enough damage, but instead they will give the kill to KU if they can give it to him. Actually, Maestro comes in. They are keeping him alive for now, but with that imprisonment, they will finally kill Mjon. But they might get KU as a counter kill. He's very low. Maestro though has no spells available. ET does come in.
Down here.
And now Maestro, not dead just yet. Kick onto 2.
Well, kick
Kill for Maestro. He will die for it, but in comes ET. Death Ward kills KTA. Malefic, meanwhile, going for a counter kill. Has Siphons, has Crypt Swarm. Will shoot. Number Fairy Fire pop by ET. But that last right click from Malefic will be the kill. Whew. My lord.
On the top side, however, Apex is almost done his Maelstrom.
Oh, he's farmed. That man is really, really farmed, actually.
He's sitting at 4k net worth, same as his Lesh.
Yeah, looking over at net worth now, they're DarkW cores. Other than Mjon, they're happy. They are the number 2 and number 1, number 2, and number 6 net worth heroes currently. Yeah, Teddy trying for those bounty rates, but Ember there as well. They probably will kill Apex, tries to TP away, but the remnants will secure that extra bit of damage that required. Friendly tip by KTA to his own Ember Spirit player. Happy to see a friendly tip rather than a flamey tip. I suppose though it is. I suppose it is an indirect flame of Apex doing that, but I'm gonna pretend it's a good mannered tip. I like.
I only
manners.
flame tip, but I only flame tip my lane partner.
That does Snow though. He's a easy to flame tip. Looking over key items, Leshrac is the net worth leader, has boots to travel, is headed towards a Yule Scepter. Meanwhile, looking over at the leader for the Radiant, Ember Spirit is... I'm not sure what he's going to opt for items just yet. Has Power Treads, has a bottle, has no items queued up, so it's hard to tell what he's going for. And it looks like we'll see some mirror movements. Meanwhile, Malefic is being gone on bottom lane. Ember is TPing in, but Death Prophet will still die. Covers a lot of damage from Ember Spirit, but he has used all of his remnants going in, and he will actually die here to the Death Ward of ET. Good trade there by DarkW. And they will also hold that
keeping that all active.
Yeah, it's still on them. Gale is there as well, and they're just doing so much damage. Rolling from Maestro, looking for KTA, but there's a lot of damage being done to that Earth Spirit. He'll finally go down, I think, but he's going to take heroes with him. KTA goes down, but as does ET. Now
Teddy should go down, he's affected by Maledicts.
And now Apex, he's being gone on. Malefic goes in, Teddy goes down, and Apex will actually dodge the Crypt Swarm. And Malefic might just die here if the hand means he's finally rotating in there with that edict, with that everything from Leshrac. That's a huge dodge there by Apex. That's a very important
KU almost has a battle
non-death.
fury done.
He actually is very close to the B Fury on Fem Assassin, only halfway away from his final component. But also is no boots.
No boots.
Yeah, it's no boots. That's still a very important juke by Apex though.
Yeah, that means he's getting his bottle refilled, so he'll have full mana and an invis rune.
Might just go in here as well, looking for a a good angle on this upcoming brawl, but KTA does drop a sentry, so perhaps there will be no brawl after a while.
This Maelstrom's now done on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's got that phase Maelstrom up. He's doing pretty alright for himself currently.
Leshrak's about 800 gold, well 700 gold away from his Yule Scepter.
And as expected, Sand King will be opting for the Aghanim Scepter over Blink as his first item. Has 2 components currently. Point Booster is in that Courier, so he's more than halfway there already with that Double Bracer Tranquil build up. DarkW doing a bit of grouping in the mid lane. They've got 4 heroes in the area, though Bloodseeker will just be farming. And Stepbro stuck may look to defend here. They have 2 heroes on the defense, but the tower is already very low. It goes down. Imprisonment is there on Lesh. Is there follow-up? Stun is there. Lesh still alive, however. Maelstrom. Ooh, God, that's a very
really
important
nice
kill.
stun there.
And now the Legend taking a lot of damage. He is ruptured, I believe. Yeah, he is. He's
got
stuck in
silence, but
place.
he does have the remnant now.
Is there any follow-up that far away, though, into defensive remnant? Gale is on cooldown for now, but it is finally up. Good save there by KTA. Epicenter is there from Teddy, doing a lot of damage. He'll finally die, but can they get counter kills? And the answer is no. Instead, Ember will die. So that's 2 more kills for DarkW.
Very good initiation from the Earth Spirit there.
Yeah, they're doing enough to disrupt the fight. Wasn't able to save Handmingzy, but overall still a very good fight for DarkW.
Very prolonged, considering it's only 14 minutes into the game.
That's been the name of the game for these 2 teams, though. It's been a lot of prolonged team fights. Oh, I said it in another one of the series as well. It makes my job very difficult. It's just prolonged team fights. Either way,
really good by Handmingzy, however, he's already taking the second tier 1 tower.
Yeah, with the travels,
a lot of pressure on him.
He's applying so much pressure, actually. It's pretty crazy. And we may see a bit of a fight break out in middle lane. Stepbro stuck. They are setting up Exorcism. They fake the animation. Or actually, that might have been Cryptstorm's animation. Never mind. They're thinking about it, though. Either way, though, as it stands, looks like DarkW is farming a bit more of the map than Stepbro stuck. They are spread out a bit more with that Bloodseeker, with that Travels on Lesh. Though we are seeing KTA, the sole hero in the top lane. M-John setting up a defense middle, rolling by Maelstrom. Is there a kick? Never mind, there is no pull in time. Silence will not be there. Ember. I think Ember could have died there, right? Yeah, Ember could have died there.
It's only a level 1 silence that would have had to really change on him. It would have been pretty hard. If the Witch Doctor was there, maybe, but
So I
they would
guess
have had to get much stun into Coconut.
Yeah, level 1 pull and then only level 2 stun on Handmingzy. It's kind of hard. That
Yeah,
has
they
to
would
be
have had to get a really
pull,
good Coconut.
stun, Witch Doctor Cask, and like a bounce on the siege unit, but that's kind of hard.
Yeah, and on top of that, he probably would have only ticked down to Maledict if that happened.
He would have Flame Guard. Actually, Flame Guard would be on cooldown, actually. But he could still dodge 1 more tick of damage with that Fire Remnant, so they need to get through 3 ticks of Maledict rather than 4. Probably not. Even if they stun it perfectly with the Wand and the Fire Remnant active. It's on Sleight of Fist active too, actually dodge damage, so there's 2 ticks of Maledict being dodged, so that's just not a kill.
This Witch Doctor is actually pretty farmed. Very close to a Glimmer Cape already.
Yeah, he's not. It's been the story of the series is that the DarkW supports have done a very good job of being farmed. Like we saw it in Game 1. I mean, when did Maestro finish his Blink Dagger? Like minute 15 or so?
Yeah, it was like 13 or 14 minutes he had his Blink Dagger. But this game, the difference is their cores are also farmed. In the last game, they were behind in their farm on their cores.
This game they have 2 very farmed cores.
Yeah, this could very quickly turn into a death spiral. They're going to rely on their 2 active cores and their pause 4 Death Prophet to really hold back the Dire until this PA can come online.
KTA may get gone on here. Witch Doctor and Venno are in the area. Is there a Cask? There's a Plague Ward. Cask is used, as is Gale. Disruption is there. He'll try to TP away, but yeah, there will be kill the Maestro of all people with that kick. I don't think it was necessary with the Gale and the Maledict damage, but either way, making sure Shadow Demon is dead is a good priority to have.
PA's going straight BKB after this Battle Fury, but I think that might be a little bit hard. They definitely need her in the fights, however, I don't think she's going to do too much damage without this Desolator.
They are looking for this mid-tier 1. Gale is there on Ember Spirit, is their follow-up. There's a Rupture, but no actual silence or stun follow-up. But the T1 tower will be alive. Ember does TP away, does not have a remnant up actually, so he'll be at the fountain for a little bit. And for a little bit, I mean about 4 seconds, but still, that's a good bit of time for Ember Spirit.
Sand King's still about 500 gold off from this Ags, so he won't be much help in these team fights until he gets that.
Yeah, that's a very important land from the finish at this stage in the game, because he remains the major team fight initiator for the Radiants. Stepbro and Stuck certainly need him to get onto Lesh in these fights. So we saw it in the mid engagement. He actually did get onto the Lesh just by TPing into the tower, and the Lesh simply melted. But until he has that Ags, it won't be happening anytime soon. Speaking of Lesh, though, he has a lot more defensive tools. He has a Yules and he's working on a BKB. He already has that Ogre Axe.
A little bit of a weird item pickup. I don't know if this is good or not. Going Witch's Blade on Venomancer, but Venomancer has a very low intelligence gain.
Maybe he's thinking less damage and more slow. Simply doubling down on kiting heroes around with the Gale and the Sting.
I guess so, but then you need to get your hero in very close. Unless... I don't think Plague Wards would apply it.
It definitely wouldn't. I mean, you see it on Monkey King, though. You see Witchblade on Monkey King, and even though that's a hero that doesn't have much int either, but...
Yeah, but slow. all of his Ags pops it. Every single one of them.
That is true, but... sometimes you don't need to hit it on, like, 5 heroes. Maybe you only need to hit it on 1 hero.
Yeah, but you can have
like,
one hero...
Assassin.
Yeah, you can have one hero get hit 3 times by the Monkey King Ags.
Man, Monkey King is such a janky hero. Meanwhile, though, we are seeing Lesh boots to travel into that bottom lane. Radiant are setting up, but the Edicts actually not being used just yet. Radiant,
I think
though,
they're
are on the
expecting
side.
a defense. They have an Ags.
Well, they are epicentering onto Hamling, so he will use that Yules. Never mind, Yules is on cooldown. He'll simply die.
Yeah, it got instantly purged by the Shadow Demon ulti.
Meanwhile, Deathwort is being popped. Malefic taking a lot of damage. He'll die to Apex. Apex is super fast. In comes from the assassin. He's trading. Down goes M-John.
Oh, big coconut.
Ooh, my. It's actually so much damage. Can Bloodseer clean up though is the problem. And he will clean up. Double kill to Apex. Almost a triple kill to Apex. It's a 1v1. Ember on the run. Has no remnants. Inevitably, he'll go down here at the very end. And that'll be a full... But never mind. Actually, Apex might not get this kill. Will be a 4-for-4 trade there. Ember and the Bloodseeker, the 2 survivors of the engagements. Overall, I mean, DarkW turned what was ultimately not a great start to their team fight into a 4-for-4 trade. They have to be relatively happy with that, right?
Yeah, this Leshrack's going to have to be a little bit more careful. If that Shadow Demon's around, he won't be able to Yules.
It's all situations where he didn't have the Yules available and he needed it for his life, so... Maybe having the BKB finished will change that.
Yeah, next fight you should have that BKB done.
He's about 1,000 away, so with the way he's in farming, he'll have it very, very soon, but... Either way, looking over some other key items, I mean, we saw the items in action. Didn't matter, his blink was cancelled. Still could burn on Lesh. Meanwhile, mid lane, they are looking for Ember, but looks like they might have bitten off more than they can chew. Never mind, the cask will make sure that nobody on DarkW dies, after all. Everybody will be okay. Though,
this Earth Spirit has picked up a Spirit Vessel that could be very useful against the Sand King.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are making Sand King's game pretty sad right now, but he has one job. Go in, stun Lesh, stun Veno. Hope things work. He's not even opting for a blink here. He's going to be going for a Yule Scepter. Doing his best to stay alive once he gets that stun initiation in via the Aghanim Scepter.
Bloodseeker has finished the Sange and Yasha, going for a BKB next. Looks like next fight there's going to be a bunch of BKBs shown.
I'm not sure if he's going to finish that BKB before the fight breaks out, but one here who definitely will be the Leshrac. Yeah, Hamling Z is literally like one creep camp away or so, 150 gold from the BKB, so he'll have it very soon. Phantom Assassin will have it soon as well. KKU's like 1,000 gold away, so he'll have it pretty soon.
Ember's looking to pick it up next as well, so there could be 2 shown in the next fight and potentially 4 in the one after.
They are looking for a jump here. Teddy did burrow in onto ET, and they might simply let the Witch Doctor die. He tries to TP, but that's a very ambitious TP, and he will go down. Kill will head to Malefic on that Death Prophet. And that was the smoke used, however. They did smoke up Teddy and KTA on the edge of that fight. Yeah, they were hoping for a key core, unable to find it. Meanwhile, though, KU is fighting with M-John. Poison Nova and Gale are dropped. M-John simply will die here. Yeah, KU should be absolutely fine in terms of the, yeah, even imprisonment from KTA, saving a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Earth Spirit is onto Ember. Silence is there, as is Spirit Vessel, but there's not really much follow-up here. He is still half HP. Another roll in from Maestro, but Ember simply defensively remnanting away. He'll be fine.
This Bloodseeker is flying around the map, though. This PA is pretty low.
He's got 600 move speed nearly. Yeah, he's going down, however.
PA has now finished this BKB.
Alright, so that is the first major BKB being... Actually, sorry, second major BKB being finished. Hamling Z now has one. KU now has one. And we are still waiting on the one from both Apex and League of Legends, but both of them aren't too far away from theirs. Both about 1,500 gold away from their BKBs. Speaking of items, M-John has finished his Witchblade, so we'll be doing a good bit of kiting today. That's for sure. And the last core is the Sand King, still looking at that Yules. Looking over at our favorite thing, though, support itemization. Witch Doctor has Glimmer Cape, looking for an Aghanim Shard. DP, meanwhile, will actually go onto this Witch Doctor. Was caught a little bit out. We'll just die here. Yeah, Glimmer Cape was used, not to save him, but there might be a counter. Hamling Z is running in. Yules is popped as the stun. In comes Maestro. There will be a silence, and also will simply be a support trade. Malefic for ET. And looks like DarkW will parlay into a tier 2 push, yeah.
Looks like the Radiant do not want to defend it either.
Yeah, KU is top lane, so it might be a tier 2 for tier 2 trade, but I think the Bloodseeker and the Lesh will push a tower faster than a solo PA. Though, they might go for the mid-tier 1 as well, actually. They are pinging it out there, so... However, KU is actually caught top lane. Roll is there onto KU, as is the ulti, as is the Rupture. He will BKB, and there actually is no cancel. No Basher just yet. Meanwhile, middle lane tower is taken by Radiant. In comes M-John. Slow is up onto Teddy, as is Gale. Meanwhile, they are looking for KTA as well. KTA will actually be stunned by Earth Spirit. He'll go down. Meanwhile, back over to Teddy. He'll actually be fine, simply running away. Only M-John went on him, so he'll be fine for now.
That's actually huge, though. Dire didn't have to expend any BKBs. They got a tier 2 tower and a kill, and they forced a 10-second BKB out of this PA. PA playing a little bit too aggressively. She knows she can play with like that because of the BKB, but you don't want to be using 10-second BKB charges in this game.
Yeah, especially, I mean, just... If these BKBs start getting low, then suddenly Witch Doctor, Veno, Earth Spirit, Lesh, it's a scary game to play.
Well, even this Bloodseeker, right? A lot of his damage is Maelstrom. Blood rate is pure, but...
The fact that there's 5 heroes that are scary that you need BKB for, it just shows, oh, I really need BKB. As expected, though, PA will go back for that Desolator now that the BKB is finished. Now looking
looks
over,
like looks like Earth Spirit's rushing an Ags. He's either looking to kick people out of position on the enemy team, or maybe just use it as a save.
They're going after Teddy. Roll is there, as is Vessel. Is there follow-up? There's not really much follow-up yet, but it's still a solo kill. Good find by Maestro. And Malefic will get that tier 1 bottom, but DarkW may look for a bigger tower being that tier 2 top. Or possibly even the tier 2 middle.
Exorcism is almost over.
And we're looking
And
for
they're
Kill
rotating on
Malphite.
him here.
He has no defensive items, but he is still fast. I guess Hood is a defensive item, but he'll simply walk away here.
It's not a defensive item when you have a Witch Doctor and a Lesh barreling down on you, though.
Every little bit counts. It's not
Might
defensive
save
in
you in
that
a team fight, not a...
yeah, in that application, no defenses, but still. We are seeing DPs going for... Never mind, not going for a pipe. Thought she was going for a pipe, but has instead changed it to being Blade Mail and a quick buy. Meanwhile, M-John is going on KU. Nova is popped. In comes Apex, looking to kill him through BKB. Unable to find him. Cast, though, is on Malefic. Roll as well from Maestro. They will look for at least one. Meanwhile, Apex also going for KTA. Looks like both of them will die. Yeah, KTA should die as well on the side of the fight. Meanwhile, Malefic is being gone on. In comes Hemmingty. KTA finally goes down. Meanwhile, Malefic also finally goes down. 2 kills for DarkW, and once again, BKB expended from Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, she just keeps getting ruptured in these fights, and BKB doesn't do anything to help you from
Meanwhile,
that.
mid lane,
So
they are onto Ember. Ember, though, dodges the stun, though. Good sleight of fist used. Worst case scenario, he could have BKB'd, but good play there by League of Legends. Not getting caught out by DarkW. Well, correction. Not dying from being caught out by DarkW.
this Sand King is getting really close to finishing a pipe. They might be able to win a couple team fights with that. But they definitely need somebody else to initiate. This PA keeps initiating and then just getting ruptured and has to leave the fight instantly.
Yeah, Sand King is the initiator, but without a blink, only having Aghanim Scepter, his angles are somewhat limited in terms of how he can initiate. A lot of times in Sand King, it's a blink in and then stun at like a different angle, but Sand King has less angles of initiation having no blink dagger.
This Bloodseeker is looking to pick up a Aghanim Scepter. Double
They are smoked
rupture
up on
should be
Radiance.
huge in these fights.
Who can they find? Will be ET. They go on ET. ET absolutely annihilated. In comes everybody. BKBs are
Sand
popped.
King kicks.
Hemmingsley, oh
It's down half his health.
god, Hemmingsley almost dead immediately. But as is Teddy. He'll still be alive for a little bit, but only for a little bit. He goes down. Hemmingsley, however, finally dies to KU on the other side. Malefic, he's trying to fight at the Exorcism. He'll go down. And so far, oh god, KU goes in. Maestro gets obliterated, but can he man fight? M-John, throwing up a crit on 2, it's huge! But actually, never mind, Witch Doctor didn't die there, and with the Death Ward now being popped, he has no remnant just yet, still on cooldown for 1 second.
1 second, should be okay.
There's a cast!
Oh no. He managed to get out of the silence, luckily.
I thought for a second the PA wanted crit the Witch Doctor and the Veno, but it turns out it's just a shard from Witch Doctor. I was like, oh god, what just happened? Overall, relatively fine for DarkW. They do get the tower, they do get a lot of key kills, but...
Unfortunately, they do have to expend a buyback on this Witch Doctor, but it doesn't matter too much as he's pretty decently farmed still.
It's one of those things where it's almost like a reverse. It's like a reverse catch-22, where both buying back is not that expensive, but also he's still pretty farmed. Everybody's good.
And it did win them the fight, which was nice.
Yeah, without ET, it would have been a very difficult 2-win fight. Good recognition that, hey, my team needs me. I should be there. Let's buy back.
This Ags is very close to being done on Bloodseeker. If he's able to rupture this Sand King and this PA every fight, I don't think the fights are going to be very close any longer.
She should be able to find him. He hasn't been dying that quickly in the team fights. We're seeing him die. He's even died at this game. He's died once. He's tanky. He has not really had much dying going on in his game.
Earth Spirit's also 400 gold away from his Ags, so he could definitely kick someone out of position.
Yeah, they just keep getting more and more control in DarkW. Witch Doctor's super far forward. There might be a roll in there from Maestro.
He saw this Ember. I don't know if they see him anymore, but he doesn't have a remnant out. Now he does.
That's actually a pretty shallow remnant.
Could be a silence.
In comes Teddy, though. They are using the Nova. That's actually... Oh, it's so much damage throw from Stepbro. I'm stuck. Handling's very low. Down goes ET. Already 2 deaths. Will be 3 deaths. And now, that's an absolute disaster, actually.
Yeah, fighting without their Bloodseeker. He just picked up his axe, but he wasn't there in time for the fight.
Some fortunate timing. They saw an opportunity there, but they were unable to actually chain what they needed to onto the Ember Spirit before the help came in. That's going to be Roshan as well. Dear God.
Even with the Shivas, the PA still melts this Leshrac. He needs to be a lot careful. A lot more careful.
Isn't it no matter what Leshrac buys, Leshrac still dies in the team fights? He's got an armor item, he's got a BKB item, he's got a Yule's item. It's still not enough to not die in the team fights.
This is where you open up the shop, you type in armor, and you shift-click all of it into your quick buy.
He's got some, but one amount of armor can save you. Mjon is their top lane. They are looking to defend. Stun from Teddy. It's onto 1. In comes Maestro. Has a silence onto the PA. Rupture is there onto 2. Onto the PA and the Sand King. Meanwhile,
unfortunately,
Purge.
no kick.
Yeah, no Purge. Ember Milk is going into Mjon. Ghost Scepter is popped. Maestro will finally die in the front of the fights. Meanwhile, Mjon's still fighting. He'll go down. Apex is on the run. Has those spider legs. Pop that BKB. But once again, it was a fragmented team fight for DarkW. They didn't have all 5 heroes. They're down 2. Neither have buyback. Does Stepbro I'm stuck know that? I don't think they do, but they're going to go high ground anyways. Stun is there onto Handmingzi, as is KU. He'll go in. Shivas is popped, as is the BKB. Needs one more hit. Yules is defensive. Rupture is there onto KU, as is Cast, but down goes Handmingzi. PA dropping low. He'll finally go down, but that's only the Aegis. Teddy is the trade. Yules is there from Malefic. And League of Legends is dropping low, but as is Apex. Apex is chained. He's man fighting. Can he stay alive? He will not stay alive. He has no buyback. KU still fighting. Has a blink in and the bash. Down goes ET. Mjon respawns in. He is the lone defender. Question of the day is how much can they get? And the answer appears to be not much. They don't really have a wave in the greatest of position. It is now high ground, but Mjon is defending it. KU, daggers creeps.
Maestro's back up, but he doesn't have any charges.
The BKB is still on cooldown for PA actually for 5 more seconds. Gale is there, and PA might just go down to that Poison Nova actually. Town, oh, he even stones him actually. He's being stuck. They're not going into League of Legends. League of Legends has Flame Guard, has... Wait, he TP'd away on PA! They didn't finish him! Now
yeah,
Ember pops
BKB.
BKB, he TP's away.
That's unfortunate. If he didn't stone him, he probably would have died to the magic damage before his BKB came back up.
Well, they need to finish that kill. That was the very key kill there on KU, and they didn't get it. They went for both kills, and instead they got neither. That's disastrous, actually. That is actually somewhat genuinely disastrous for DarkW. Had they have gotten that that PA kill on the back end, you could say, all right, PA died once again. BKB's down to 5 seconds. PA probably isn't getting much stronger than she already is. But instead, PA just TPs away. They had the damage, but they just simply didn't finish. The BKB TP was enough.
They do finish up an Abyssal Blade as well. This Bloodseeker's working on an MKB.
They are smoked S3. They want something. What can they find? Might just be KTA. Rupture is though onto Ember, and Shadow Demon roll is through, but the Yules is there from Ember. Meanwhile, Maestro, he's rolled and taking a lot of damage. Mjon goes down,
he
dies back.
Too.
And Teddy's doing a lot of damage. Now Handmaids he gets bashed. Apex is actually very, very low. BKB's being popped by everybody. Death Ward is there. Down goes Apex to the crit. Down goes Ember. ET chopping low. ET goes down. Handmaids on the run. He will Yules. Is their teammates. There is Mjon. And he will be alive for now. But overall, rough fight there for DarkW. And Mjon might just die back here. Ghost Scepter was popped. Gale is there.
Okay, you're gonna take a lot of damage. No BKB up.
He'll go in again. He'll simply kill Mjon. But and he still has the Abyssal. Dear God. That is 3 kills. Actually, more than that if you count the buyback. That's 4 kills for Stepbro. I'm stuck. That's a bit of a disaster.
Dire want to take these big, prolonged fights, but they're just unable to with the burst damage on this PA.
Yeah, it's simply too much damage. We're seeing a lot of these heroes like, alright, I'm in a good position to fight, and then they're dead. They get one shot. They get crit, they get desoed, they get Abyssal Bash sometimes. It's a rough tale for DarkW as it currently stands. Alright, the question is now, if you're DarkW, where do you go from here? Right now, Stepbro Stuck has all of the momentum.
They definitely need to find an answer to this PA. This Bloodseeker needs to finish his MKB, but he's really far away from it. Actually, he switches it over to a Butterfly.
What is the answer for PA then? Like at this point, it's trying to bait out the BKB, kite him around for enough time until he's eventually vulnerable.
I feel like you gotta rupture him and try and avoid him.
That seems a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
Either way, though. They are seeing DarkW. They are now respawning. All the casualties from the melee are over. There's a burrow, though, onto ET. They will look for a kill. Sentry is there. He'll try to TP. Has 2 stacks.
Unfortunately, still inside of the Sandstorm.
Yeah, eventually ticks down to that Sandstorm damage. And now we're seeing a Mage Slayer on Ember Spirit. That's actually pretty interesting, but it makes a lot of sense. Applies to everybody via the Sleight of Fist. It's a scary game for all these mages on Dire, of which they have 4.
10-second BKB picked it up on this DP as well.
This is Malefic's time to shine. Has level 3 Exorcism, has the BKB, so it's going to be very, very hard to kill that man in these team fights. You're seeing Apex playing very defensively bottom lane. He does not want to get caught. He's simply sitting in the trees here. Yeah, knowing that a lot of these Radiant heroes, the PA is not showing. His PA has not showed for a very long time. So Apex is playing very, very defensively here. He does not want to get caught. Meanwhile, though, KU just farming. Yeah, this man is getting extremely, extremely farmed. The tier 4 items, they are finally dropping, so we are seeing some Stormcrafter for the Radiant. We're seeing a Trickster Cloak as well in the PA, so that's even more evasion. If you thought she had too much evasion before, then you're going to be in for trouble, because never mind, she dropped the Trickster's Cloak. Never mind. I was going to say that she would have 56% evasion, but apparently not. And will instead go over to Malefic on Death Prophet. Looking at DarkW, though, they're playing extremely conservative. They are not looking to get picked off as they have been a few times in recent engagements. They want to take things as 5. They say, you know what, we like our heroes, we can still fight as 5.
They're walking into a fight here. They might actually be able to kill this PA. The DP is nowhere close, unfortunately. They don't engage.
They haven't found KTA or KU, though. Both of them invis by the Glimmer and the Blur, so no kills just yet. Looking at Radiant Vision, they don't see anything on Dire except for, I think they saw a Plague Ward, so they're not sure where anything is. Looking over at Dire Vision, they also see no Radiant Heroes. This is a bit of a standoff going on right now. Meanwhile, though...
This Ag Scepter on Leshrac might actually be the answer to PA.
And just, oh god, that actually should work out pretty well. Let's make him ethereal.
Unfortunately, he's trying to take the shrine right in front of the PA.
Oh, he's caught out there. Is he a buyback? He's not a buyback, actually. He's almost certainly going to die here. Yeah, with that dagger, with that slow, and just enough damage from Malefic. They will also get M-John on the other side of the map as well, so that's kills across the map. 4-step Bro, stuck. Can they find ET? They will with the banishment. That'll be 3 kills if there's any follow-up. With the Sand King coming in, that'll be 3 kills. Down goes ET. He's the only one with buyback. And for Stepbro stuck, it's time to run it down the middle lane, force out buybacks. They know Venom's is on cooldown, I believe. So this could be a very, very difficult defense. Exorcism is popped, BKB is still up, Burrow is there, and they are looking for the Earth Spirit. They do find it. There's multiple ruptures being popped, and there's multiple buybacks from DarkW, but no kills, BKBs. There's a roll there onto Teddy B, is still BKB. He will Stormcrafter, I should say. T3 tower is down. They are hitting the barracks. Ranged are taking some damage as of the melee. Down go the ranged, the melee not long after. DarkW just trying to defend. M-John has respawned. With Stepbro stuck. They smoke. They're in the retreat. and they will defend their bottom lane from these siege units as well. And for DarkW, oh, the tip coming out from Teddy. He wanted revenge for the tipping happening earlier, and he has gotten it. And now for DarkW, they're trying to find something. They do scan, but it's not an easy find. Maestro is rolling in, but they found nothing. They're in the Roshan pit, but they have not found it to respawn because it is still dead for 24 more seconds.
I think they're going to need to take this fight in the Roche pit, however.
Yeah, there this is Maestro. He has no buyback. Has to die back on Maestro. And now Ember Spirit's going in, looking for Ichi. He pops his BKB. Ember Spirit. Oh god, Witch Doctor's very low. Poison Nova is popped. It's on to 2. Banishment is there. Hamlingsley in the backlands doing a lot of damage. Down goes Ichi. Apex trying to fight, pops his BKB. They stun Sand King. He goes down. Meanwhile, DarkW are running out of HP. Down goes Apex. He has buyback. Down goes Hamlingsley. He has no buyback. And the GG is called. Stepbro stuck. They get a 2-0 victory over defending champions, DarkW.
And then we all chat again.
Dear God.
I mean, a wise man once said, "Don't tip when you lose game 1." But they did it anyways.
Alright, we're seeing a little bit of post-game chatting going on, but I don't think it's going to go on for too long. It might spill over into... Nah, never mind. It seems to be JK. Everybody seems to be okay. We will not be seeing any bad manners spilling over into the League of Lads Discord today. But what are your thoughts on what happened this game?
I think game 2, Dire hit their power spike, and Radiant managed to weather through it. It's a little bit hard to play that aggressive when you have such a defensive hero such as Veno. I think they needed a little bit more of an aggressive offlaner, something that would maybe beat the PA in lane a little bit better. Then after that, they could have death spiraled towers a lot easier and then taken control of the map. But other than that, they just didn't really have an answer for this PA when she had BKB, Deso, and Battle Fury. She was just killing whoever she wanted. Then once she picked up the Abyssal, there was little they could do other than rupture and try and stay away from her.
I mean, speaking of PA, we were talking about our items earlier on. We were a little bit skeptical for going BKB before the Deso instead of Deso before the BKB. Would you say that was probably the decision that really paid off for them?
I don't think so. I think she could have picked up that Desolator and then farmed the BKB prior to that. Instead, she picked up the BKB and then played very aggressively and she wasn't actually able to use either the 10-second or 9-second charge to get a kill. She just had to BKB and TP out, and then by the time she finally got into a team fight with that 7-second BKB, she already had the Deso. So I think if she waited, it would have been fine either way if she had just sat back and played a little bit more passively.
Sitting back and playing passively, that's not gonna. As a fellow carry player, that's not happening.
I mean,
never happening.
Just don't dive behind the tier 2.
Where's the fun in that? Either way, though. I mean, we saw some very good play from Stepbro stuck, and this was. It almost felt like they played more like 5-man smooth Dota. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think they knew when they were strong and when they needed to group. They didn't really let DarkW find them with any pickoffs. They played pretty compact, which let DarkW farm a little bit faster this game than them. But in the end, they had the stronger team fight and were just able to take it anyways.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things where it might be like a little bit poignant for DarkW, because it's almost like Stepbro I'm Stuck beat them with their style of Dota too. They didn't play the sort of like AFK completely farm on one carry. I mean, they did get the Radiance on Wraith King, they bought the B Fury on PA, but they played a lot more like 5-man Dota than I've seen from them in recent series. It is very, very well executed from them there, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think they definitely took it to DarkW. They wanted to play at their own pace. They took control of the games, hit their power spikes, and just took off.
And for Stepbro, I'm stuck. That's a very important 2-0 series win, because now at this point they've pretty much all but locked up the 1 seed, which makes their playoff bracket a lot easier. Because, I mean, if you look at like the teams, they're not going to play DarkW, and they're probably not going to play Toxic Tacos until the winners bracket finals.
Toxic Tacos are bad. It's fine.
Which means, I mean, now you guys are probably play. If you guys end up at the 3 seed, that means you guys are set to play DarkW in the semis, which is certainly for both of you teams probably a harder matchup than whatever Stepbro is going to have. So it's a good situation for Stepbro. I'm stuck in terms of bracketing from simply getting that 1 seed secured. Either way, though, I look forward to seeing both of these teams. I mean, one could argue these are simply the 2 best teams in League of Lads, and they would probably have a very strong case for it. And going into the playoffs, probably the 2 favorites still. Either way, though, do you have any final thoughts, shout-outs, call-outs, etc. to say to people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/BadgerPablo?
Subscribe to USS Squam.
The memes, the pretendings. Either way, though, thank you for tuning in for a good series of Dota 2. I'll be back Friday for DarkW versus Gang Squad, I believe at 9 p.m. EST. And then I will be commentating the Toxic Tacos. Who you guys playing on Sunday?
Coconuts Gaming, I think.
So Toxic Tacos versus Coconuts Gaming at 8 p.m. EST Sunday. I will see you then.
Is it 8 p.m.?
And
it is 8 p.m.
I might be back for some more Dota, either casting or just playing some Dota before then. Either way, have a great night.
Guam's gonna need the money when Mike overthrows him as head admin.